Welcome back to the game I didn't even know if I would finish or not. If it would be so kind as to pop up, please. Thank you. Tiny Bunny, the game I didn't even know if I wanted to properly finish or not. But, you know. I just decided I want to because I got like halfway through before-ish, maybe halfway through, I don't know entirely. And then bada bing bada boom. Here we are. Almost a month later to finish it up. Let me just real quick. Think that just doing some stuff before starting. Actually, one moment. We're good. We're good. We're good. So without further ado, oh jeez. For a refresher, I'm also doing this for myself. Had just finished up the very long conversation with the fox girl who had the dog on the way to school. Before that, there was a thing with Peter Pan. And what was it? Peter Pan, the dancing silhouettes, the was it a dream jump scare, parents not getting along, missing child, wet mitten, thought it was blood, turns out it was just water, and here we are, I believe, day one at this school, as the child who I honestly forget the name of. What's my name? Oh god, I'm gonna lead him to his death and I don't even have the courtesy of knowing his name. By the way, a tall man was sitting near the gate, puffing out clouds of smoke into the wind. He didn't look like a teacher. Was he a PE guy, maybe? Oh, gee, hi, buddy. Carefully studied his face. That looked like it was cut from a piece of granite, and his his hair lip that was holding down a cigarette. He was playing around with car keys and staring back at us. Us? The light from the cigarette was reflected in his eyes that were sitting deep in his eye sockets. I froze in place. The hulking man lazily tore off his eyes from us and walked towards the road. Is the fox girl still standing next to me? Is that what's going on? Okay, the man is gone. Fresh-looking Volga parked nearby with one of its front wheels perched up on the icy curb. Let me just... I was under the impression curb was spelled differently than that. But that is beside the point. I'm focusing too much on stuff that doesn't really matter. It was good enough for me to get the point across. I remember him always... Oh, wait. Curb... Okay, I did miss something. Black like soothe, as if I was straight out of the horror story Dad loved to tell me when I hid in the attic during a thunderstorm. I remember him always wearing a sad smile while mentioning the black car that snatched children. Oh! He would say, "It looks like a funeral car on the inside, white curtains and all. And it has DSC in its license plate. Do you know what that means? Death to Soviet children." Jesus! Funny, I was born in the USSR too. What else is there? Kids. Yeah. Whose nest is this, I wonder? Probably some sort of birds, if I had to have it a guess. A thieving magpie? Then it probably has all sorts of shiny things in it. Pieces of colorful glass, bottle caps, polished coins, or child braces. That paints a very interesting image in my mind of a bird going up to someone with braces going ooh shiny and claws in the mouth being like, mine, mine, mine. Buzzing crowd of upperclassmen with their winter hats tipped to the side. I'd better not draw their attention. Is there anything else to look at? There appears to not be. I could hear muffled voices behind the doors, saw blinking lamps. Darkness creeped along the windows, and it felt like the school was drifting in open space like a lonely lost spaceship. I just wanted to illustrate my lack of ability to read that. Attention, child missing. I can read that one. After going up to the second floor, I noticed a crowd around the notice board. Everyone was taking part in a lively discussion. I moved closer and took a look at something everyone was interested in through a wall of backpacks. There was a piece of paper with something printed on it, glued to the left of the notice board. Yes, Vova, the missing child, who I do remember the name of, actually. Missing child, for some reason, just because Vova is fun to say. Sorry you're missing, but you have a fun name. Oh, read. You couldn't find a better picture of him? Vova Matyukin, 10 years old, grade 4B. He left his home on January... Yes, I was in the middle of reading this game. He left his home on January the 5th, around 1600, and never returned, 4 p.m. Was last seen at the bridge over the Smorodian River. He was wearing an orange coat with a hood. I almost misread that as wearing an orange coat with blood, which I'm just saying we're getting a little ahead of ourselves if he's already got blood upon him going missing. A black wool cap, a scarf, and mittens with green stripes. What color was the mitten I found last time? Might have had a plastic toy gun on him. 142 centimeters tall, skinny, brown hair. Wait, 10 years old. Trying to gauge if that's tall for a 10-year-old. Brown hair and green eyes. Please call these numbers if you have any information about Vova's whereabouts. Vova Matyuchin. 4th grader. On that grainy print, Vova looked dead. Funny, I feel as though if we find him, he's going to look just as dead, if not more. With a black mouth and dark, empty eye sockets. Could it be that the darkness was dwelling deep in the forest, invaded his pores and mutilated his face? Wasn't this a picture of him from before he went missing, and therefore he would be fine? Doesn't matter how black and white and dead the it doesn't matter how dead the child looks, the cat still looks cute. Plastic toy gun couldn't protect him from the whispering branches and howling wind. Well, if he was a better shot, maybe he'd still be fine. Get it together, Vova. Empty eyes of the lost boy pierced through my soul as if pleading. Unable to meet his stare, I turned around and rushed to the window. Took a seat on the windowsill. The corridor was slowly filling up with children in groups of few. Nobody paid me any mind. In the darkness of school toilet... Wait, when did I go into the bathroom? Wait, did I miss... Took a seat on the windowsill. Corridor filling a few. Nobody paid me any mind. In the darkness of school toilets, child voices were hammering a nursery rhyme. For the for the fox and for the bear, bunny tasty meals prepare. Oh. That felt weird to say. I don't know, that felt weird to say for some reason. Turned my head toward them, trying to get a better look at their features, but then my attention was stolen by a loud clicking sound. A female teacher marched down the corridor with her chin raised up high and, okay. Her heels were hitting the floor like miniature hooves. A girl was trailing her every step. She was also looking pompous, stopping along the way and whispering some secret in her friend's ear. She was probably a class rep since she was carrying an attendance register book.
Екатерина, возьми, пожалуйста.
Ekaterina? Ekaterina. Jesus Christ, you have a 5-syllable name. Why do you have a 5-syllable name? How does anyone call your name? Ekaterina, take this, please. Ekaterina, take this, please. Teacher opened the classroom door and the crowd of children swarmed in, screaming and pushing. Man, that is the most excited I've ever heard any child be to go into a classroom. Usually the other way around is exciting. Oh god, boy! Out of all of them, a tall, red-headed fat boy caught my attention. His face was full of blisters. He looked like the inside of a pomegranate. Oh my god, that is a good... That is... What the hell? The inside of a pomegranate. A bad feeling risen up the hair on the back of my head. I've seen boys like him before, unsettled eyes, cackling laughter. The girl, who was a smaller copy of the teacher, warned the boy with a wave of her hand and entered the room through the clearing crowd. The way his eyes just like... Some other guy stood in the way of the crowd, and the redhead immediately shoved him. Move your legs, moron. I can't... Why is it whenever I try and do a Russian accent, it's like, I always have to do Russian with at least somewhat of a deep voice. Jesus, this guy. The boy flew head first, flailing his hands, trying to keep his balance. The fatso. Oh my god, brush your teeth, kid. Your teeth look more disfigured than your Fatso burst out laughing and a couple kids joined in his nasty cackling. What the heck? Oh god, kids. Their laughter sounded like someone was snipping with huge garden scissors. Yeah, that's about an accurate description to what I just heard. Classroom sucked all the kids in. Oh, that's how you manage to keep kids in school. The corridor stood empty, except for these two. I guess they don't count as taking up space. Oh, now they're gone. I wanted to grow roots and stay on the windowsill. Yep. Bunny tracks. Just a handful of lampposts outside were battling the darkness, writhing like fluorescent fish in the black ocean. Such creative wording for street lamps. Maybe I can still run away. Oh, you absolutely can! I'm sure you have the legs for it. Go outside, dissolve in the dark. I mean, you could! I imagine myself running through the snow, how it squeaks under my boots, and how I become lighter and lighter with every step. Huh? Wait, if you're going through the yeah, okay. Oh, gee! Ow! The ringer's trill bell blew that illusion away. It also blew away some of my concentration. Oh my god, that hurt me. Water. I tore myself from the window with great effort and took a couple of deep breaths, trying to at least calm down my mad pulse. and entered the classroom. Oh boy, this can only go well. This can only go well. The prim teacher looked at me over the looked at me over the frame of her glasses, clearly annoyed. Look, lady, if you don't want me here, the door's right there. I can see myself out.
Я новенький.
I'm transfer student.
Мне вот
I was-
сказали к вам подойти.
I was told to come here. Snowy forest trail was winding in front of my eyes. The pines rustled, but it didn't sound predatory anymore. She buried herself in the register and flicked through the pages.
А фамилия-то как?
Your last name? That sounded more so like she said your family name, but your last name?
Петров.
Petrov. I'm saying that out loud for my own sake so I can remember it. Petrov.
Громче говори.
What are you mumbling there?
Чего мямлишь?
Say it clearly. Oh my god.
Петров.
Petrov.
Нет такого.
Not on the list. Imagine me with a long, heavy stare as if trying to see if I was lying. I wanted to sink into the floor. And then the floor became quicksand and my wish was very quickly granted. Hazy faces observed all of that from the... Hazy faces observed all that from the left. The classroom breathed and snorted in unison, like a living organism. Like a dangerous beast. Yeah.
Ты не ошибся?
Are you sure?
Нет такого в списке.
I don't have you in my register. My knees chose the worst time to start shaking. Right in front of everyone. Ah, God, every kid's worst nightmare. And I felt dizzy. I clutched my fists so hard my knuckles became white. Not gonna lie, given this art style, I wouldn't have been able to tell a difference. I don't think.
Мне сказали, 204
They told me
кабинет,
to-
Лилия Павловна, 6 В.
They told me to come to classroom 204 and to ask for Lila Lila Pavlovna, class 6C. Apparently everyone in the classroom took my words for some sort of joke because they were all
Что
laughing.
за бардак?
What's wrong with this school? Classroom fell silent. The kids hid their smirks for a better
Не
occasion.
берут студентов.
Why do we hire so many interns?
Только знают, что губяки свои мылевать. А я разгребай, значит.
They all know how to put lipstick all over their bulging lips, but when it comes to real problems, I have to solve everything.
А бумаги-то кто заполнять будет? Не первый раз ведь уже.
How do they send you here without any proper paperwork? We've had the same thing happen so many times already. Well, at least you should know roughly how to solve it if it's happened so I hit the microphone with money. At least you should know vaguely how to solve it. If you've had to deal with it so much at this point.
Подожди здесь.
Right there, I'll be back. Oh, great! Everyone's laughing, and now he's getting left alone in the classroom
Сейчас я им устрою.
after I have a little chat with them. And now, well, alright, fellow children, I am here to teach us the lesson plan. I have nothing prepared, so what we're going to do is we're going to make paper airplanes and see who can go farthest out the window. That is the lesson plan that I have prepared. So take out your finest sheet of paper and just start folding. The teacher flew past me, mumbling something to herself in righteous anger, and I was left standing at the center of the classroom, like a convict in front of a firing squad. If any of these kids somehow has a gun and this turns into an actual firing squad, that would be horrific. Lowered my gaze, feeling the mocking stares from all around the classroom directed at me. They prickled my skin, danced on it like laser sights. I won't question the mind of a child and how it comes to that as being the connected conclusion. Okay, I'm going inside of myself. Once again, imagining far from this place, fighting the clawing wind soaring high above the pines in one long jump. Well, it's never too late to start training for Olympic pole vaulting. You could get into shape for that, and I'm sure you could pull off the jump. Or, I guess long jump is in itself a thing. Why did I go to pole vaulting when long jumping is a thing? With the wind in my back as my only companion. The eyes of my future classmates were asking, this new boy, is he one of us or an outsider? Somebody whispered something, and stifled laughter rolled through the classroom. Is this a cult? Is this some sort of cult? Wipe the board. It was easy to guess who was the main prankster here. Yeah. Hey, Four Eyes. God, you can't even be creative with your insults. The main character kid literally said your face looked like the inside of a pomegranate, and the best you can come up with is 4 eyes. Especially because he looks half disfigured because of the blurry art style on half of him. Are you not only blind, but also deaf? I said wipe the board. My knees weren't the only shaking part of my body anymore. I was trembling from head to toe, and I prayed for the teacher to come back sooner. Well, here's the thing. In a situation like this, time is going to slow to a grinding halt. My prayers were answered by the powers that be. Oh, never mind.
Ну что мне с тобой делать-то?
And what should I do with you now?
Куда сажать, а?
Where will you sit?
Давай-ка сядь, наверное, с Семеном.
Oh, well, you can sit with Simeon. Oh.
Он все равно один.
He's alone anyway.
Еще чего?
No, really? God, this kid is disgusting. The fatso put his backpack on the seat beside him in defiance, scratching his belly and smirked.
Ты опять за старое?
Are you back to your old tricks?
Снова бабушку в школу
Should I call your
вызывать?
grandma here again? The classroom went silent.
А чё нам не сделает?
And what's she gonna do? God, this kid needs very harsh discipline.
Не она, так я тебе сделаю.
I'll be the one to do something if she doesn't.
Рюкзак убрал быстро.
Put away your backpack now. Simeon didn't move a muscle. Probably for the better. He started studying the portraits of writers on the wall, looking bored. I need to do something to resolve this somehow, to save myself. I cleared my throat and continued in a stifled voice that sounded nothing like me.
Я могу за последнюю парту сесть.
I can sit in the last row.
Там, кажется, свободно.
I think there's a free seat. Teacher snorted loudly. She looked at me, then Semyon. Ah, that's a fun name to say, if not for the fact that it belongs to, you know, the other kid who's off to the side over here.
Ладно,
Fine.
садись пока туда.
Go there for now.
А с тобой, Бабурин, мы еще поговорим.
And you, Baburin? Baburin? Oh god, I've already forgotten the name that I said was fun to. Yeah, he doesn't deserve it. I'll have a talk with you later.
Чтобы подошел после уроков.
Come to me after class.
Будешь по классу дежурить, ясно?
You'll be on cleaning duty, got it? Semyon forced out a twisted smile. Juicy pimples were growing on the tip of his nose, ripe for the take. Whoa! God, why would you describe it that way? Juicy pimples ripe for the taking. That in vogue. Oh god, yeah, Giga Chat game. Oh god. God, where is the Giga Chat dad instead of the word description of calling pimples juicy and ripe? Oh god. Also, Bagel, I'm just gonna put it this way. Apparently there was already a video of the Giga Chad father on YouTube at some point. Yeah, more bunny game? Yeah, coulda, dude. Welcome to me trying not to get... Wait a minute, I can go backlog. Where is it? Simeon forced out a twisted smile. Juicy pimples were growing on the tip of his nose, ripe for the take. Whoa. Where's the father when you need him? I don't know, I just need someone to stare at who isn't this disgusting bully kid. Ugh, why did the game describe his face as such? I took my seat at the back and the last table, where I was met with a pile of old posters. The outcasts took their seats and class was ready to start. Oh, okay, you heard about 4 lines before that one when you came in here. Good, so I'm glad you know my... God, why would you describe pimples as ripe? Ugh.
Вот и хорошо. Начнем.
Now this is settled. Let's start the class.
Тема. Традиции русской и
Ah.
литературы в рассказе
Today's
Зощенко
theme
«Не надо врать».
is traditions of Russian and international literature in Zoshenko's Don't Lie. Don't look at me! Don't look at me! Although I do laugh every single time the game says he just calls him Fatso. Just, oh god. Fatso turned back to me. His stare informed me of the coming days, weeks, and months of bullying. I've got my eyes on you, said his watery look. Look like he's from A Christmas Story. Oh, I was trying to think and my neck popped. A Christmas Story. Here's the thing. I didn't even realize you typoed. My brain autocorrected. What? After just a couple of periods, I had already noticed a huge yellow spit stain on my notebook. Oh, my children. You know, I feel like this kid... Actually, you know, again, this kid isn't even good at bullying. Again, his first thing he said was call the kid Four Eyes. And again, the first description from inside the main protagonist's mind was calling his face the inside of a pomegranate. I think someone's a lot better on their burn game. Also, why is it yellow? Is this a... Bleh. Why is it yellow? Why is it fuzzy? Then at the cafeteria, this Simon accidentally spilled a glass of compote on me. Dessert and beer mixed with dry fruit and berries. Thank you, Index! And then he flailed his hands around after exiting the toilet so some of the liquid from his hands would get to me. Tastes really good. I have never had it. So, you know, good to know. I'm not doubting that it tastes very good, but I did just realize we're still on the Spit Glob notebook. Wait a minute. Did the kid seriously? Jesus Christ, kids. Absolutely disgusting. Yup. And I'm just questioning, why, like, did he pee on his hands or is that just toilet bowl water? Because one of those I feel is far worse. Just before the final period day, Simon pushed me into a buzzing crowd of girls from our class. Okay. Man, haven't seen this trope in a while. They made way cursing, but I couldn't hold my balance and ended up ramming my face into the girl I took for the class rep before, right into her chest. Oi! Haven't seen that trope in a while. Immediately stepped back, dying from embarrassment. Yeah, I can... Not exactly, but I can kind of relate to a scenario like this, weirdly enough.
Прости, ты в порядке?
I'm sorry, are you alright? Not quite as severe, but I can actually relate to the, like, fear/embarrassment of a situation like that. Hi. Then she suddenly put her hands on her hips. That is crossing her arms, not hands on hips.
Нет, ну...
Oh, there's a single hand. Jesus. MC's death from embarrassment. Or if you're me, and you're in a situation like that, you freeze and pray the female doesn't notice, because... I'm gonna delve into that story. It was when... I forget exactly, but I was very tired. It was on an overnight shift. And I was holding out something in my one in my right hand, and my left hand was like up a little bit, and the girl I was working with just walked up and grabbed the thing out of my right hand, but she landed in such a way that my left hand was just like noticeably in her boob. And I just kind of froze in that situation for a little bit, because I'm just like, do I remove it? Do I just move it out? Or do I just kind of... I just completely froze until she moved away, and I'm just like, oh, okay, she didn't notice. There are moments. I'm good at rhythm games. I haven't played them in a long time. But I was never like... I'd say like average to maybe a little above average at them, but I have not played them in a long time. Also, you look at him,
Облапал меня
groping me
прямо
in
у
front
всех
of
на
everyone.
глазах.
Really? I get that this is a kid, but also in what world do you think that's intentional?
Я сейчас всё маме расскажу.
I'll tell my mom. Oh my
Тебя из
god.
школы выгонят, извращенец.
I'll expel you, pervert. Oh my god. Some sort of sadistic pleasure in her eyes, as if she was a child who was about to put a lit up match before a... Some sort of sadistic pleasure in her eyes, as if she was a child who was about to put a lit up match to the if her beetle. Oh, okay, there we go.
Я нечаянно, меня толкнули.
I didn't mean to, he pushed me.
Все видели. Слепых
We all saw that, you know, no blind among us. What? I'm guessing that might be a translation issue. He stared at my glasses while showing me a creepy smile. Started to fume on the inside, but Semyon's laughter cooled my head.
Толкнули? Чё,
I posted you, sir. Why am I going like Watto for him now? He swagger. When is the last time I heard the word swagger used unironically? Higher up to me, enveloping me in the smell of sunflower seeds and rotting teeth. I feel like rotting is an understatement. And then pushed me to the ground. I am. Oh. Okay. Oh god. Like this. Oh, what you gonna do now? Oh my god. Lily towered over me as if saying, "Come on, hit me. Let me see you try." Honestly, I wouldn't want to punish this kid solely for the fact of I would be worried for the explosion that would then engulf my hand. Fight back or endure. Screw this kid.
Слушай,
Listen, you. My throat went dry, my lips were moving on their own, and my voice was akin to stifled squeal. Simeon wore a mocking smile.
давай, продолжай, очкарик.
Go on, Four Eyes.
Чё примолк-то?
Why did you stop?
Нам
We're all
всем
waiting.
очень интересно.
God. Ugh, God.
Если еще хоть раз меня тронешь.
Blech. If you ever touch me again. Simeon slowly stuck out a finger and poked my forehead. What?
Натронул и чё?
I did. So what?
Ещё хоть раз.
If you ever do it again. Oh my god. Oh god, this is just
А вот еще.
once more.
И еще.
And again.
И еще.
Can I just kick this? Can I just kick him in the face?
И еще.
Where are our teachers? He was poking me with his finger so hard my head tilted backwards. Seriously, just punch him in the face. I must not cry. Punch him. Actually, the throat's a bit cleaner. It wouldn't get your hand as dirty.
Чё ты мне сделаешь, мямля?
A little wimp like you do to me. My vision went like others did to me in Yu-Gi-Oh! Here's the thing. Given his teeth are rotting, I think they would just crumble out. My soles tore off from the floor. Yes. Rushed forward and threw a random punch without looking. Oh, boy. What I saw when I opened my eyes was beautiful and horrifying at the same time. Oh. I just got an achievement for punching them. Semyon was holding his ear and blinking in amazement. Was I the first person to rebel against his absolute rule? I mean, he deserves far more than this. I needed to run, but I was already surrounded by his cronies. Lila Pavlovna.
Петров Бабурина ударил.
Petrov just hit a barn. Yes. Simon's cheeks grew even redder and his pimples even wider, like the heads of lava. Please stop describing his disgust. But a smile flashed on his face that was only noticed among his comrades. He got really close to me, the smell of rotting teeth washed over me.
Тебе
You
пиздец.
are f***ing done. His voice was evil and dangerous, like someone tore off the lid from a kettle with boiling fat. I was waiting to get hit, counting the thumps of my heart and guessing where his fists will go. The solar plexus, the jaw, the nose. Is the disgusting wording part of the horror aspect of this game? Maybe. I honestly have no idea. But they just... Every description of this kid, who I keep forgetting the name of, is just, by the way, you would rather jump into a pit of living sludge than be in his vicinity. But I just turned around and walked off. A thought, cold and sober and extremely rational, popped into my head. I'm going to get killed today! Ah yes, rational thought. Given the context of everything, maybe. I was late to leave the school after class on purpose. Semyon didn't attend the last period, so I was hopeful. What if he decided to dodge the cleaning duty and ran home, forgetting all about me? Nope! I heaved a sigh of relief like someone on death row whose execution was delayed by a day. But I didn't let myself forget his tone, his vengeful haze, and his scary, electrified smirk. While the other students were leaving the school laughing loudly, I was pretending to skim through my books near a window. I was staring outside, nervous. Semyon was nowhere to be found in the front yard or near the school's gate. A strange feeling. This child may wish to invest in a firearm after today. Actually, no, that would probably just make it worse. He'd just get pinned down before he could pull it out. I didn't really believe I was this lucky, so I decided to be extra cautious and stayed for some more time in the corridor that was gradually getting less crowded. All bustle moved to the first floor. There was a skeleton peeking out of the biology classroom. Some jokester put a cap with the American condor on its head. The sound of running water were coming from the bathroom. I was the only person left in the whole school. Wait. I'm not alone. A sudden thought came to mind. I remembered the missing boy. His portrait was on the notice board near the schedule. I remembered his smile, him looking at me, and the fact that he's mostly likely already dead.
Привет.
Hello? What? I shuddered and turned around. At first, my eyes stumbled upon the black violin case. Then I noticed a girl from my class was holding it. Your mother's school in Moscow had a real human skeleton? I'm gonna hope it was provided by some sort of a donor, but you never know with how things were done even that long ago. And I noticed a girl from my class was holding it. That's one hell of a way to make sure you get accurate anatomy stuff. Ah, yes, we don't need to replicate the model. Here's actually some dead bones. My grandma passed away a few years. They may be brittle, but that just makes it easier to get inside of. She sat in the first row of the second column. I could swear I caught her looking at me a couple of times. Well, didn't you say everyone was looking at you at some point? And I was sneaking glances at her myself. Ah, young love. The one thing I could not care less about. Sometimes it feels nice to look at something pretty. The spring, the sky, or a girl that's not in the crowd that laughs at Semyon's jokes. Let's be real, if anyone laughs at anything Semyon does, they are immediately a lesser human being. Or hell, not even a human being at all at that point. And she wasn't whispering the dirty laundry of other people to Katya. Spent all the breaks just like me, staying in the classroom or looking out the window or drawing something in her green notebook.
Здравствуй.
Hello. I turned red and pretended I was studying the pattern on the wooden floor.
Круто ты ему врезал.
It was cool the way you hit him. Ah, yes, violence. Encourage it.
Это вышло случайно. Почти.
It was just an accident, almost. Yes, it was an accident. I wound my fist up, aimed, and hit him right in the side of the face, completely unintentional. Started shoving books in my backpack to at least put something in my hands.
Семён раньше таким не был.
Simon wasn't like that before.
Он к нам недавно перевелся.
He also transferred here just recently.
Бабушка
His
мне по
grandma.
секрету сказала, что он словно взбесился.
His grandma told me that it almost felt like he went mad. Ah, the cult of the forest has gotten to him.
Семёна даже старшеклассники побаиваются. Представляешь?
Even the upperclassmen fear Semyon, did you know?
А ты вот молодец.
But you're different.
Не стыдно?
Yes, you're brave. Or stupid. The line between those two is quite fine and very easy to teeter off of. I mumbled in reply. Yeah, right. Me brave. Yeah, right. Me brave. Just because you're the son of a Giga Chad does not mean you are a Giga Chad. A hero that has been standing around the hallway to avoid a beating. That just means you have fear and some good common sense to you. The girl looked at me with her clear, attentive eyes.
Ты за рекой живешь?
Do you live over the river?
В том деревянном доме?
In that wooden house?
Ну да.
Yeah.
Там, наверное, страшно.
Heroes don't need play. What is that quote from? God, why do I feel like that is something I should... Why is that something I feel like I should know? Please tell me so I can feel stupid about it. Final Fantasy? Okay, I have never played Final Fantasy. I don't feel as bad anymore. It just sounded like it was something I should know. Actually, no, that's a lie. I played like an Xbox 360 demo of a Final Fantasy game, but that's literally it. Must be scary living there. You have no idea. There's at least one jump scare, demon owl. There's a fox girl on the way here who offered me candy. Literally, she was just missing the white van. What else is happening there? Oh yeah, the dancing silhouetted humanoid animals. Anything else I'm missing? Oh yeah, the missing child and the MIT weird radio signal thingy that I watched Peter Pan and ignored during.
Да еще через лес идти.
You also have to cross the forest.
Я бы так не смогла.
I wouldn't be able to do that. I shivered at the mention of the forest. Yeah, no, Wow. I've gotten this far into the game, and the first English word to get me is intertwining. I've handled several of the Russian names better. Then intertwining branches of a snake-like trail of endless darkness that spread like mold among the crooked trees. So I straight up lied.
Да не так уж там и страшно.
It's not that scary. that lie may come back to bite you.
А что тебя так пугает?
What's so scary about it for you? Why don't you answer that question? She smiled after a brief pause, as if brushing off a daydream.
Да так, ничего.
Well, actually, never mind.
Меня, кстати, Полина зовут.
Name is Paulina, by the way. See, her, I actually managed to hear her pronounce her own name in that
А
statement.
мне Антон.
And I'm Anton, who I honestly keep forgetting my own name is Anton at that point.
Ну, это я знаю.
I already know that. ...
Слушай, Антон,
Hey, Anton. She stumbles as if trying to decide whether she should continue.
а что ты делаешь после школы?
What are you doing after school? Well, I'm trying not to die. My chest felt prickly after her innocent question, yet somehow it felt pleasant.
Ничего такого.
Nothing much. Ah, very much like my own existence. I stumbled and didn't finish my sentence. Huh? Lisa's predatory smile flashed in front of my eyes. Hello, fox girl. Getting faded away. That transition back to the fox girl. Her playful eyes in the slit of the mask were probably just a product of my imagination, though. What if the fox girl is waiting for me after the school? Was it another of her weird jokes? I wonder if she's hiding a big red tail under her coat. One moment. Oh. Stretching a little bit. Suddenly, yeah, no, the game just turning that type of moment into something mildly unsettling. Just why fade? Suddenly got covered in beads of sweat like after PE class. I wanted to take a shower as if just thinking of the foxy girl. That wording! I wanted to take a shower as if just thinking of the foxy girl made me dirty, soiled my clothes, lured me to the forest's embrace. Oh my god, that wording. That word. That could not have been word. And we're back in reality.
Занятие? Скрипка.
I have a violin lesson, and then I'll be free. And then we're back in reality.
Дедушка мне репетитора нанял.
My grandpa hired the private tutor.
Наш учитель музыки. Он же скрипач.
Ah.
А здесь, в поселке, ему...
Our music teacher is a violinist,
Только мне.
and he doesn't have anyone to teach it except for me. That's lovely. Lovely one-on-one lessons to become good at the instrument. Are you a fox? She waved a free hand in the air, imitating the movement of a bow on violin strings. I could almost hear the music. I, too, can hear the music. Although it sounds more like a piano than a violin, but I feel like that's because the game is playing that. It chased Elise out of my head. Looked at Polina's lips, catching her every word, and was frozen from the unusual sensations. They were warm, soothing, unlike literally everything else here, and tingly. Imagination is powerful? Yeah. Yes, it is. Every time I close my eyes, that can sometimes be shown. Felt like I was very small and feelings were immense and they couldn't fit inside me.
Тут говорят, что у нас в поселке маньяк
They
завелся.
say there's a serial killer on the... Wait. They say there's a serial killer on the loose in the village.
Раньше со школы меня всегда дедушка забирал, но в последнее время я
Normally,
не
Grandpa would
справляюсь.
escort me home from school, but he's been sick lately. Wait a minute. I snuck a glance at Volva's photo. And back to this. His eye wells studying me. His lips were wearing black lipstick. I swear, every time I look at this picture, it's different and more demonic. Can you escort me instead? Ah, yes. The best escort instead of an adult. Another 12-year-old! Especially one who basically just signed his own death wish today. Just like the portrait on a gravestone.
Ты не подумай, я не трусишка, просто...
I mean, I'm not a coward, it's just... I mean...
Просто мне кажется, что с тобой будет безопаснее.
Took a few extra steps, but Kuda, you called it perfect. I could be safer together with you.
Антон, ты сможешь
So you
проводить
go home
меня
with me,
до дома?
Anton. Ah. There it was. There it was. Finally, everything that I'd read about in the adventure books, everything I dreamt about was seeping into my life. A mysterious crime, a beautiful stranger, and a heroic duel. Oh my god, This child's gonna get himself killed. A duel. Thinking of Semyon instantly sobered me up, returned me back to earth, and started shaking under my feet like a deck of a ship. If only I could rise to the occasion in front of Paulina, because no matter how brave I was trying to act, it was obvious for both of us that I wouldn't be able to stand a chance against a big guy like that. And that's when you acquire a giant stick. Gives you reach, gives you weight, and gives you a whack. Him knocking me out wouldn't even be the worst of it. Worst part is that Paulina would see all of it. Look, kid, I get where you're coming from, but no. What's worse is he'll probably knock you out, wait for you to wake back up, and then probably knock you out again, or do worse. And she'll laugh at me like everybody else. No, I didn't need anybody to see me in such a shameful state.
Сегодня вряд ли получится.
I doubt I'll be able to stay today.
Ты же знаешь, Семен, скорее всего, караулит на школьном дворе.
You know Simeon's waiting for me
Лучше
outside.
мне с ним разобраться лично, по-мужски.
I need to deal with him one-on-one like a man. Nonsense. What? Lena brushed some hair off her forehead, and I sensed a weak aroma of blackberry. Paulina was like water when you were thirsty. You gulp it down and still want it. Speaking of which, hydration time. Let's drink some Paulina, I guess. Lovely water. I remembered the summer evenings at the... I remembered the summer evenings at the country house, the fire's pungent smoke, the berries hanging over our fence from the neighbors, and a soft cover of pine needles under my soles. Those few peaceful days when I felt completely safe. My mom resting in the hammock, my dad putting meat on a skewer. Could I have foreseen the upcoming catastrophe in the crackle of the coals in our parents' laughs and the smell of the fleeting July? Could I have seen how fragile that world was?
Думаешь, этот дикарь будет честно драться?
Do you really think that savage would give you a fair fight?
Со своими дружками набросится всем скопом, опомниться даже не
They'll
дадут.
just swarm you with their friends without giving you a chance to catch your breath. Very true! Polina suddenly flashed a devious smile.
Но если мы пойдем вместе,
But
это
if we
их
go
ошарашит.
together, they will be put off.
Я же не только первая скрипка на деревне. Я ведь еще и девочка.
I'm not only the first violin of this village, I'm also a girl! Ah yes, play the female card.
Слышала от знакомого хулигана, что он никогда не нападает на кого-то в присутствии девушки.
I've heard from a delinquent I know that he'll never attack someone when there's a girl nearby. Unless we're not counting putting Anton to the ground earlier as attacking. You know what, I guess maybe it's just, like, a limit on his violence.
Представляешь, у них кодекс чести такой.
Can you imagine they have this weird code of honor? I honestly do not believe it. A delinquent you know, I thought worried. Is he better than me? Dear God, you have been interacting with this girl for... we could probably check how long this section is, but I'm willing to bet you have interacted with this girl for not even 10 minutes. Oh god, the mind of a child. Oh, I have to go to music class. She made a couple of steps and stopped. Amazing. Polina didn't look like those beauties from the magazine posters or actresses from the movies, probably because she is, much like you, a child. But in the flickering light of the ceiling lamp, she looked much more alluring. She is much more your age, therefore.
А ты играешь на чем-нибудь?
Can you play anything? Parents bought me a guitar a couple of years ago. Immediately remembered my meager attempts at making music. Change. We're all waiting for change. So, there's a song. Let me see it. Victor Tosoy, singer, frontman, popular Soviet rock band Kino, blah 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 blah. Yeah, okay, got that. Song echoed with thoughts and my desire to change something. That guitar got lost somewhere, as if refusing to move to the old house near the forest. I think my parents gave it away to someone that needed it more.
Не играю.
I don't, sadly.
Жалко.
Yep, it is a pity.
Ну ладно, я побежала.
Oh well, I be going.
Пока!
Bye. Her shout was captured by the loud echo. Her shoes also echoed through the school hallways. Bye. Wasn't sure if Paulina heard me. I looked out the window again. The schoolyard was empty, just a couple of grade schoolers throwing snowballs at each other. Nobody who looked like the hulking Semyon with his cronies. This was giving me hope. What should I do? Paulina could become my friend, the first one in this new place, and besides, she may be in real danger of meeting a killer, and I'll be there to be her defender, her knight, her meat shield, her scapegoat. God, kid, you will die for nothing. And even though my inner voice was hesitant and whispered about running away from the killers, lurking in the woods at night, Polina was worth the risk. But the red cunning fox was also intriguing. She promised me to help look for Vova, and this will bring me a reward. More money and almost guarantee peace in my family. Gifts for Olya. I imagine my sister happy like those girls who got prizes from Supolnev in the finest hour. She'll be dancing with the famous singers, maybe a new popular boys band like Ivanushki International. Mom and Dad hugging at the buddy. There's no money that can fix that broken marriage. And then all of us going to Disneyland. Oh, okay. I'm gonna do a BRB before making this choice, so actually... Do you want to overwrite the save? Yes. I am gonna do a BRB before making that choice, though, because, that's a fun one. The mysterious fox girl who offered candy and... to help, or the violin girl. Either way, real quick. Be right back. I am back. And I've taken my time to, oh god, scooching chair. To think. First, an abandoned zinc bucket. Thank you for the welcome, Kuta. With a rag on the bottom of it, filled to the brim with murky tap water. It reeked of salty chemicals, and the stench was so intense that I felt sick. I staggered away from it, praying that I don't meet the same fate as the person on cleaning duty. Well, let's be real, if what's-his-name, why can I never remember his name? The one who is disgusting ends up being the cleaning. He'll fit right in with it. Turn me around and I'll tell you who's stupid. I bet something offensive is written on the other side. I wonder how long would Semyon keep turning it around. I wonder how long would Semyon keep turning it around if it fell into his hands. Something I can look at? Yes. Somebody left their school shoes on the windowsill. Judging from their size, they belong to a boy my age. So between the two options here, actually, I'm just gonna do the safety save right there. Gonna go with Polina here, solely because friend in school. And also, it would be a massive dick move to abandon her, or to not escort her when she's like, oh yeah, murderer and such, and I don't have anyone to walk, and it would just be a comfort thing. Just gonna recommend both. I mean, wait a minute. How to duplicate mouse cursor. How to duplicate mouse cursor. I mean, I have the save behind this, but at the same time, I don't know. A friend in the school is probably, a friend in the both the save and, and the Polina. You know what? We apparently have good brains in the sinkage. Snow danced in the air outside the window, following the rhythm of the music that was flowing from around the corner. I jumped off the windowsill and started walking along the hallway, curiosity eating away at me. The half an hour I'd spent here waiting crawled at a snail's pace. I wanted to see Polina again. The music became louder. It streamed out of the half-open door at the far end of the corridor. My music taste was limited to a little of Shevchuk, the timeless classics, and pop songs I saw on TV, along with music videos that would sometimes be put on tapes as teasers before a movie. But this violin melody captivated me. I very much just enjoy violins in general, so. Felt like a master woodcutter working with delicate wool and fragile crystal toy. A gust of warm wind. I pressed my cheek against the doorway. Alright, now we're going full on cheesy here. Polina was hiding from me in the far end of the classroom, but a shadow that fell on the wall definitely belonged to a girl with a violin. The movements of her bow were so graceful that I felt like it was getting carried along the waves of music. My heart broke the barrier of my ribcage and started hopping around. Good old the way 12-year-old brain and emotions work. Faster and faster, it jumped on snow piles, gliding between the pines toward the fiery sun above the windfall. Oh!
Заскучал?
Wow, I don't think they could have made that transition more abrupt if they tried. I was so deep in thought that I didn't hear the approaching footsteps. Never mind, I feel like they tried to make that abrupt. After bathing in music, Polina felt even more magical.
Да нет, нет.
Oh no, not really. I just...
Я о комиксе своем думаю.
I was thinking about my comic. For some unknown reason, I lied. You were captivated by her music. That is all.
Комиксы рисуешь?
You draw comics?
Да, ну, то есть,
Yeah, well, I mean,
планирую рисовать.
I wanted to draw one. Didn't he actually have sketches in his room?
Ага.
Oh,
И про что твой комикс?
and what will it be about? About the most charming and kind girl that plays a violin who somehow happens to be in this house of horror. You know what, violin girl in a hellhole?
Про лесу.
About the
Ой,
fox.
точнее, про говорящих
Oh,
животных, что живут в лесу и помогают заблудившимся детям вернуться домой.
I mean, about talking animals who help children who get lost to return home from the woods. Wait a minute. Actually, I'm just now realizing, why did it absolutely have to be a choice between Polina and Fox Lady? Couldn't it have been, hey, I have someone who may be able to help with the escort, introduce them and be like, okay.
А потом они
And then they
пляшут в ночи.
dance in the night.
Ого,
Oh,
как интересно.
sounds interesting.
Сам придумал?
Did you come up with it yourself? Technically, yes, if you count the visions and nightmares. I lowered my gaze.
Вдохновился, глядя в окно.
I got inspiration from looking out the window. I just got an achievement called Nightly Vows for that one. Because I do believe there is an achievement for pretty much every split decision in this game, so... I actually wonder what the other one is entitled. I opened the door in front of Polina. Dad told me how essential it is to be a gentleman. Well, your father is in fact a Giga Chad, so he knows what he's talking about.
Значит, творческая личность.
So, you're an artist, huh?
Я догадывалась, что ты не такой, как все.
Had the hunch you were different.
Особенный.
Special.
Шутишь? Я?
Keep the safe save untouched? Absolutely. Wait a minute, didn't I want to double check. Where do I have saves? Outside the school. Oh. If I basically auto-click, it's not too much to get through chapter 1. You're
Я
joking me?
самая обыкновенная.
I'm absolutely average.
Семён обыкновенный.
Simeon is the average one. No, he is the sludge you scrape off of the barrel that is in the bottom of a sinkhole, and the sinkhole was also thrown down into the ninth circle of hell, and this is after hell has sunk further than its original position. That is Semyon. That is
В
Semyon.
смысле, обычный придурок.
An average idiot. Oh, okay. Thank you for the clarifier.
А в тебе живет нечто доброе.
You carry
и пушистое.
something kind of fluffy inside. Something barked near my leg when we were crossing the schoolyard, interrupting Polina. This is by the... No, yeah, it very well may have been, but also if I go off on a rant, sometimes it just isn't nonsensical. And is this gonna be...
Не бойся, это Жулька.
Don't worry, it's just Zulka. Yeah, it's the puppy. Actually, no, I deliberately worded that sentence like that so that it could be, fitting in here. This dog's face still makes me mildly uncomfortable. I stood on one knee and rubbed the barking dog behind the ear. It was frantically wagging its tail like it was some sort of propeller. Looked around the yard trying to find Elisa, but the fox girl was nowhere to be found, neither in the yard nor on the road.
Брось ее!
Leave it be. What?
Ты что, она же дикая!
It's a stray, you know?
Клещей еще
What if it has
подцепишь.
pests?
Нет, у нее хозяйка есть.
No, this one has an owner,
Вроде.
I think. Sonia looked at the playful dog with disgust, covering her mouth with a handkerchief.
У тебя никакой еды не завалялось?
Do you have any food on you?
Кажется, что-то осталось.
Think I have something left.
Покормим и пойдем, ладно?
Go feed it and go, alright? Took out a sandwich. Oh, took out a sandwich Wait, she took out a sandwich out her bag and threw it to Zolka. The little dog rushed to her banquet, swept away the bread with her nose, and started eating the bologna. What a picky eater.
Ешь все, давай.
Come on, eat everything. Polina tugged at my sleeve, egging me on.
Ты чего?
Hey, what's wrong? She replied with laughter. Oh, I thought it was on loop. Filing girl had literally dragged me out of the school gates, stifling laughs into a fist. I turned around. Zolka followed us with sad eyes as we were leaving. The dog looked especially lonely with the school as the backdrop. And then Polina just stopped laughing. She walked alongside me with a blank stare, completely silent.
Нечего паразитов плодить.
Don't spread pests. Her remark turned out pretty harsh. Was it really the stray's fault she had to live in the street?
Они потом на людей кидаются.
They always attack people later.
Прошлой зимой такая стая чуть дедушку не загрызла.
Pack of these almost killed my grandpa last winter.
Какой кошмар.
That's horrible. Yeah, no, yeah, I'd say that.
Ему с тех пор не здоровится.
Is he still not feeling well?
Его...
He's paralyzed now. Oh, they chomped the spine.
Он больше никогда не...
He'll never be able to walk again. I remember the scary pack of dogs that was chasing me just a while ago.
Мне очень жаль.
I'm sorry.
Ничего.
It's okay. Elena showed me another enchanting smile, her eyes half closed. Those are very fully open. What matters is that we understand each other now. I forgot all about Zulka after she said that. You don't have to forget about the pup. Some third graders were throwing snowballs at each other and singing. 3, 4, 5, the owl will arrive. Oh my god. Any type of song that involves counting, it always brings me to like the Freddy Krueger. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. I still remember that entire tune. The owl. Yes, the one that torments your sister. Oh yeah. An image of my sister sitting near the window, bored, looking for me in the twilight, flashed before my eyes. Promised myself that I would go home as soon as I escorted Polina.
Что за песенку малые поют?
Dogs are owners with them, and you can't be around them. I can kind of understand that, given I have experience with one stray animal, or primarily one stray animal, a cat, who I was careful-ish around, but it kept going back and forth between being all lovey-dovey, rub the face up against me, and claws and teeth attempting to get in me. I was very careful to make sure I had nothing. I only let it have at anything that was clothed. What's the song those kids are singing?
Уже второй раз за день ее слышу.
Second time I hear it today. We were walking down the main street. Somewhere near a tractor was grumbling, cleaning snowdrifts. Ravens flew across the ashen sky. Actually, on the topic of dogs, I mean, even dogs that are with their owners are not always safe. There was a friend of the family once that I had, and one of their dogs outright mauled one of their pet birds to death. Which upset me, because that bird was my favorite of the animals in that house, because it was one that I could actually talk with and have conversations with. Rest in peace, that bird, who I honestly can't even remember the name of. This was like over 10 years ago now, jeez. Flock of blackbirds circle above us like scary crosses that ran away from graves. The owl one?
Это считалочка.
It's just a local nursery rhyme.
Её в детстве дедушка напевал.
Grandpa used to sing it to me when I was
Он
little.
интересуется историей края. Много
He's very
знает.
knowledgeable about local history and
И
folklore.
что там за считалочка такая?
And what does that rhyme sound like? It's slightly safer. Throw a leash into the mix, and then yes. But if the dog is just sitting there, then you never know.
Слушай,
Listen, She started walking backwards, facing me and smiling.
Раз, два. Прилети, сова.
Yeah, no, this is tuned exactly like the... This is tuned exactly like the Freddy Krueger one. 1, 2, time to play with you. 3, 4, 5, the hour will arrive. 6 on and the wolf's grey fur... Wait. 6 on and the wolf's grey fur will stand.
7, 8. Бьем копытом
7, 8, stomp your hooves and
для
wait.
медведя, для лисы.
For the fox and for the
Зайчик
bear.
кушать принеси.
Bunny, tasty meals prepare. I thought that I'd already met a fox this morning. Thankfully, I hadn't met any wolves or bears. As I was looking at the girl by my side, I became strangely brave, so I said something unexpected. Oh
У
god.
тебя красивый голос.
You have a beautiful voice. Polina adjusted her, slightly embarrassed.
Спасибо.
Thanks.
И что же, это конец считалочки?
And is that the end of the rhyme?
Принес им заяц покушать или нет?
Did the bunny prepare those meals?
Поди узнай.
Who knows? I don't know. I would like to know. The game is called Tiny Bunny, and this is like the first direct mention of Bunny, and we're like, I don't know how far through chapter 2.
Считалочка очень старая.
Nobody will be able to tell you now. It's really old.
Древняя даже.
I'd even say ancient.
С ней легенда одна связана.
There's a legend related to it, though.
Если тебе интересно.
Want me to tell you?
Конечно.
Of course, tell me more about the bunny.
Наши племена жили разные.
All sorts of tribes had lived in the taiga back in the day.
Дедушка говорил,
Grandpa told
у них
me
была
they
такая
had this
ис-
it's
инициация.
well, some sort of rite. Oh, initiation. When the boy was ready to become a man, I listened closely. I mean, I was also really close to that age myself. You're 12. Is a dog. Yeah, there are some. I do know. I am no dog expert by any means, but I do know specific. Like there are some breeds or some ways dogs are raised where it's like they are very protective of people, the people they know. Actually, no. I was actually bitten in the calf by a little old dog like a couple of months ago, and that was inside a home. I was just looked at him, tried to walk away, and he for a split second jumped at me and just tried to bite at my calf, and I was just like, what the hell? Yeah. This is why I prefer cats, because me and cats tend to understand each other more.
Юношу отводили в лес, и
They
он
would lead them
должен
into the
был
woods,
ночи провести
where he
в
needed to spend
охоте.
3 days
По
hunting.
легенде,
There's a legend about a young man
ушел в
who
тайгу.
went into the taiga and never returned.
А вернулся, когда его
Then
перестали
suddenly came back when they'd already stopped looking for him.
Нагрянул в деревню, исцарапанный, грязный, замерзший.
I just wanted to turn up the music real quick because we got the throat singing and the tribal music. He was covered in scratches, dirty and cold. Because you've only had 5 cats total. Cats can be insane sometimes. Like, I at one point had one who, one of the things she would do would be stare at you for like 5 to 10 seconds and then run and jump like 5 feet up in a corner and then run back down the hallway. And that is just what she would do. Also, I'm gonna say there is nothing more awkward than being the only male in a house when an unspayed female cat is in heat. There is nothing more awkward than that. Loved that cat though. Loved that cat. Just very awkward until she was spayed. I imagine sleeping among the pines in bear lairs.
Родные выбежали к нему.
His family rushed to help
упал на
him,
землю.
but he just fell unconscious.
Привели шамана.
They brought a shaman.
Тот осмотрел молодого охотника.
He looked at the young man and his face became
сказал,
grim.
плохи дела.
He told them that he was in bad shape. What gave it away?
До утра
The young
девушка
man
бился в судорогах.
convulsed until the morning, repeating that rhyme over and over.
Снова и снова.
Over and over.
Раз, два, прилети, сова. Будто ему в тайге нашептали.
And to time to play with you, as if Taiga itself was whispering to him. And when the sun came out, he died.
Только вот шаман
But the
сказал,
shaman said he was already dead when he returned.
что он
He
мертвый
came out of the
здесь,
woods as a
что
living
мертвый
corpse and
губами
whispered that
шептал
rhyme with
шепточку.
his dead lips. I froze in fear. Well, you're still
Чё
walking.
ужастик?
Are you sure it's not some horror movie?
Фольклор бывает пострашнее всякого
Folklore can be
кино, уж
way
поверь.
scarier than movies, believe me. Yeah, no, when people don't know how the world works and then they just kind of put blind inferences together, it can create some very interesting things.
Дедушка говорит, что
Grandpa
племя
said that the
собралось
tribe
спешно и
just
ушло на
uprooted in a hurry and left to the south. They were the smart ones.
Они были смелыми,
They must have been brave. They were,
если жили здесь.
if they lived here. Belina kicked one of the snow piles with her small boot.
смелыми и глупыми.
Brave but stupid. As I said earlier in this very stream, that is a very fine line. You make a drink that should calm them down once the... which is... Small amounts of the tea is harm. Don't know much about it. Well, given the cat I'm referring to was spayed very short... Like, the only reason she wasn't spayed at that point was because she was pregnant beforehand, so there was a little bit of a wait period before that could be done. But oh my god, dude, without going into too much detail, it is just she aim her backside at me and flare and flash. That is basically what that was, and I'm just like, oh.
Неужели надо мертвецу
Also making a lot of
заявиться,
purring and,
чтобы долететь до
you know,
шеи?
cat noises, but more extended and louder. I need a corpse to appear from the forest for them to understand.
Дошло что?
Understand what?
Что нужно уезжать отсюда.
That they needed to get out of here?
Есть целый мир.
There's the
А
big
есть
world,
наш посёлок.
and then there's our village.
Мир.
The world? She spread her arms wide.
Посёлок.
The village. She showed a distance that is almost invisible with her two fingers. To roll on her, that one I would not mind, just, again, presuming the lack of being in heat type stuff, but... Nah, I would always sleep with a closed door wherever I could. Just... I very much enjoy aloneness. Showed a distance that was almost invisible with her two fingers.
Часто представляю большие города.
I often imagine big cities.
Могу часами рассматривать
I can look at the globe for hours. Well, you better have a good imagination, because the globe does not exactly show much in this way of cities. Mildly off topic here, one thing that has become abundantly clear to me in my time of when I review my stream footage to turn it into shorts is, oh my god, my left eye closes so much easier than the crystal eye. Like, this eye closes so much easier than this one. And it is a thing I have noticed, where it's just like, yeah, no, wait. Yeah, no, it is just a weird thing that I notice. The flesh is limp, the crystal is not.
или журналы вокруг света из библиотеки.
Or at Around the World magazines from the library. They have such pretty names. Just listen.
Рейкьявик,
Reykjavik,
Тель-Авив.
Tel Aviv.
Это же чистейшая музыка.
Music to my ears. She started circling, her eyes shut dreamingly. Forest towered before us, touching the low clouds. The road fell into a semi-dark, dark between the trees. I haven't need blinking. It just kind of does it for synchronicity's sake, which might be why it's... You know, slightly out. Ooh. Does it need to? No. But it's a similar thing where it's like, you know, you put, you know how when things in a certain thing... Let me restart that thought. Like when putting a human brain into a robot, it's probably a good idea to include some completely unnecessary things just so the brain doesn't freak out at the foreignness. So it's like, well, you don't need to have a digestive tract or the ability to eat or drink. But you know what? Just so the brain doesn't freak out, we're gonna put these features in you. Do you need to do it? No. Can you do it? Yes. Road fell into semi-dark between the
Я бы
trees.
могла покорить сцену.
I could have conquered the stage. Yeah. Cave your sanity. What little of it I have left. What little of it I have left.
Выступать перед
Performing in front
тысячами
of
зрителей.
thousands.
А я сцены ужасно боюсь.
And I have stage fright.
Так ты другим возьмешь. Живописью.
Oh, you'll get famous another way by
У
drawing.
нас-то есть будущее.
We both have
А
a
что ждет
future.
того же Семёна?
But what about, say, Semyon?
Ну, станет он еще толще.
You may just get fat. Yes. Yes. Of all the dialogue or words describing Semyon, I would say they are 2/3 disgusting, 1/3 fat. That is all this game describes him as.
Ну,
And
Будет пирожками торговать.
they'll be selling pirozluki.
ага.
Yeah, made from dogs. Burst out laughing, exercising worry from our minds with lighthearted fun.
Если ему, конечно, доверят пирожки.
If somebody will even trust him with selling them. On the internet as a Discord mod, you're famous for all the wrong reasons.
Наверное, ты права.
Oh god, wait. I think this game is before Discord, so he would be getting up into like his 30s when Discord would be a 30s, 40s when Discord would be a thing.
Он их в один присест слопает.
He can probably eat a whole lot of them in one
Я
go.
так и думала, что вдвоем в лесу
Так,
не страшно.
I thought the forest is less scarier when you're not alone. I looked around. Snow was sparkling, reflecting the last rays of the setting sun. My pulse fastened from the thought that we were alone.
Да, ты была права.
Yes, you were right. The music cutting out, making me slightly uneasy. Alright, what's gonna happen? Oh, never mind. Playing a rush through the fire break.
Вставай!
Don't fall behind.
Когда в
Oh
жизни-
my god. I never fall behind.
Знаешь, ты так изъясняешься.
You know the way you speak.
Персонаж.
Just like a hero from adventure books. Yeah, he speaks a little too much like them sometimes. Was she complimenting or mocking me? That is a thought I utter to myself many a time. I didn't want to look for the hidden meaning. Not when we're on such a wonderful
Ну да,
walk.
я люблю книги.
Did this ever mention? I don't think Baba Yaga has been mentioned, no. Not by name.
Ого, читающий
Oh, a well-read
мужчина.
man. Oh my god.
Звучит интригующе.
Intriguing. A man, really? Oh, wait till you see his father. That's the real man. I got embarrassed and my cheeks turned a beet red, but I still thanked fate for being able to wander around the forest with Paulina like this. It's cold, your cheeks are probably already red. The girl suddenly stopped and stared into the darkening thicket without making a sound, as if waiting for something. I felt uneasy all of a sudden, and then she asked me in a cold voice,
Был там.
"Have you been there?"
Где? В чаще?
Oh, deep in the woods. Paulina burst out laughing again, shattering my anxious thoughts.
Нет,
No, silly.
в большом мире.
In the big world,
В городах с музыкальными названиями.
cities with musical
А
names.
разве Москва музыкальное
Does
название?
Moscow sound
Больше похоже
musical
на
to you?
кваканье лягушки.
To me, it sounds like the croaking of a frog. Moscow. Moscow. Yeah, no, I can hear it. Paulina froze and looked at me in disbelief.
Был
You've been
в Москве.
to Moscow?
Ну да.
Yeah. But it, sides were still wait, what is the comment on the beats about? The beats confuse me.
В детстве.
When I was little, Polina's eyes started sparkling.
Какая она?
What's it like?
Ну, красивая.
Well, it's beautiful.
Шумная.
Noisy.
Неоновая.
Neon lights everywhere.
Неоновая.
Neon lights. I felt like she was savoring those
А на
words.
Красной площади был?
Have you been to the Red Square?
Конечно.
Of course.
Она такая
It's so
выпуклая.
bumpy.
И в ЦУМе был, и на ВДНХ.
Been to Silicon Go to glossary, help me. Central Universal Department Store and Exhibition of Achievements of National Economy.
Мне больше всего метро понравилось.
Love the metro the
Там
most.
так
It
пахнет.
smelled like
Как?
what? She went up to me and grabbed me by the sleeve and started. Oh, beet red. I knew it was something to do with the cheeks. I just forgot that beet was said in here. Many colors of beet. Oh, wait a minute. Beet red cheek. Where is the thing? Screw it. I didn't even realize that was the expression. I just thought it meant like the cheeks were beaten red. Not like not the root. But also, thank you for informing me there are multiple colors of beets as well. Actually, now that I think about it, you can be beaten purple and beaten red, depending. Not being grabbed by sleeve and stared in my eyes with clear
Не
interest.
могу описать.
I can't
А
describe it.
нарисовать?
And can you draw it?
Что, запах?
What a smell! Yes, draw a smell.
Великие музыканты могут сыграть
Great musicians
запах.
can play smells.
Не может быть.
You're lying.
Я дам тебе кассеты.
I'll give you the cassette later. Started twirling in the fallen snow again.
Я обязательно побываю в Москве.
I'll definitely go to Moscow.
А главное в Вене.
But first to Vienna.
Вена моя мечта.
It's my dream.
Это же столица
The capital of
музыки.
music.
Моцарт,
Mozart, Beethoven, Strauss,
филармонический оркестр,
Philharmonic Orchestra,
государственная
National
опера.
Opera,
Я буду
be
выступать,
performing,
а
and you
ты
drawing.
рисовать.
I would like to point out again, these two met like probably an hour and a half at most ago in their time. Her enthusiasm spread to me. Wanted to do something right in this moment. Right this
А
moment.
ты куда хочешь попасть?
Where do you want to go? I sighed and
В
confessed.
Диснейленд.
The Disney. I remembered the finest hour show again. Olya performed Call of the Jungle, but I always spent my Mondays in front of the TV. Colorful tables with numbers on signals, and a charming Mr. Supolnev at the wheel. And the prizes. Chocolate eggs, video equipment, and the most exciting one, a trip to Disneyland for the winter. My parents promised to take me there to find the land of the mouse. And I believed them at first. Well, maybe they also believed it back then. Two children, no friends, becoming fast friends. Yeah, no, you know what? It makes sense. Makes a bit more sense when you word it that way. I do keep putting the disclaimer, oh, the mind of a child, in there just as a thing of, it's understandable, but I still have to laugh at it. And also, I feel like past me would be a little bit of a hypocrite for judging this too harshly. Now they just reply with silence every time I asked about it, and it saddens me to no end. I have just 3 words on my mind in those moments. But you promised. Polina had seemingly read my mind.
Добраться туда проще, чем нам кажется.
Getting there is easier than we think.
Каждый лепит свою судьбу как хочет.
Everybody has the power to mold their fate. Picked up 2 handfuls of snow. And then, as if she forgot about everything, showed me a sly
А давай
smile.
снеговика лепить.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Давай.
When I get back home, I'll make a snowman for Olyo too. She'll be so happy. But for now, we're almost done with the first ball, rolling it shoulder to shoulder. Polina was laughing. Locks of her hair fell from her lively face. She was so cute when she blew them away. Ha 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 ha. Laughter.
У тебя такой маленький шар, а?
Why is your ball so small and on? Oh god. Oh god, my inner 12-year-old is laughing at that comment.
Максимум голова снеговичка.
Only works as a head.
Больше надо.
Make it bigger.
Не ленись.
Don't be lazy. Couldn't remember the last time I had so much fun. Lena swept her now crimson lips.
Ты мечтал когда-нибудь очутиться?
Do you ever wish to go to another planet? Something flashed in her eyes when she said that. I couldn't really put my finger on what it was.
В другой вселенной.
To another universe, even. Lena sighed in what felt like relief.
Тогда ты понимаешь меня.
Then you should understand me. Oh! Our palms glided across the ball of snow, straightening up any bumps it had. An almost ideal white ball rose up in the middle of the clearing. Then another one popped up. We lifted it from two sides and placed the one that served as a foundation. So I was just thinking, yeah, for some reason this brought up the memory the last time I bothered making a snowman, and I had to watch from out a window as some random older kids at the time just came and decided, you know what, screw it, and just destroyed the thing. Lovely thing to watch. Lifted the two sides and placed the one that served as the foundation. Finally, Polina helped the third ball to get on top of the other two.
Ставить голову на место — мой конек.
Getting the head to the right place is what I
У тебя
do
морковка
best.
случайно не завалялась?
Do you by any chance have a carrot?
Увы.
Alas. There was no fear, no worry at this clearing. I became more daring, ran towards the thicket to crack a couple of branches. Pulled at the intertwining windfall, but Polina's voice suddenly awakened me from my delusion. Anton!
Там кто-то есть.
Something's standing there. Or someone is standing there. I turned around puzzled. Polina was looking at me. No, at something behind my back. Life another... sometimes for me, I don't even have to try that. I can just close my eyes and my brain just flashes other stuff at me. But yeah, a more interesting world. She stared at it, her brows furrowed. Not a single trace was left of the cheerful atmosphere we had a moment ago. Polina? She slowly raised her hand and pointed at the darkness that was approaching the trees in the distance.
Впереди кто-то стоит.
Someone is standing there.
Темная сгорбленная
A crooked silhouette,
Видишь?
see?
И ручищами.
Rubbing the pine
засновать.
with their huge hands. Turned around and directed my eyes where she was pointing to. The area around the dry raspberry bushes was empty.
Там никого нет.
There's nothing
Она
there.
спряталась.
It hid
За деревом.
behind the tree. Color of my coat felt suffocating. I pulled on it instinctively. Felt a spasm in my stomach. Smiled weakly and asked, hoping for a good
Это
answer.
что, шутка?
Is this a prank? No. Polina seemingly lost all her words. She just continued staring deep into the endless forest. Bravery check, I thought, so I stepped towards the glossy black trunk, Polina's gaze pushing me in the back. Oh god, the difference between bravery and stupidity is such a fine line. I was trying to muster all my courage, but my inner voice was telling me to stop, to curl into a ball, to play dead even. Anything but go out there into the writhing darkness. The twilight was sucking me in, limiting my vision. The clearing was a deep well, its walls prohibiting the sunlight from reaching its bottom. I heard the air ring, or was it ringing in my ears? One step, two steps, but Yeah, I bit my lip to stop myself from screaming if anything happened. ... There was nobody behind the pine. I sighed. And I turned back to Paulina, who was
Полина,
gone.
здесь никого.
Paulina, there's nobody. Huh?
Ну, здорово, Антошка.
God, I'd rather the demons of the forest than this guy. Yeah, Antolska. The darkness behind the pines, just like a caveman from their cave, appeared smirking Semyon with a bunch of his cronies.
Опачки, какая
And
встреча!
what do we have here?
Очкарик в зубе с шарик
Where'd Paulina go? Wait a minute, is that a branded North Face jacket? Wait. I don't know why that is the thing I know. Paulina go, she vanish. Check out this for a freak, eh? Paulina let out a shriek when the bastards shoved her away from me. Oh, she's still here. They surrounded me like carnivorous pride, making me step back. Destroy the snowman? Oh! Simeon's heavy leg blasted through the snowman's belly. The balls we rolled crumbled, becoming a mushy mess with just a single broken branch poking out. There's several broken branches there. For Sargon thought the demons have taken her. Like I said, I would rather the demons than this kid just because the demons are probably cleaner. Paulina gasped angrily. I also felt the touch of scalding hatred. Yes, let the hate flow through you. Smell of sweat and tobacco attacked my nostrils. Yep, I was gonna say it back at the yellow spit comment, but I was wondering if this kid was a 12-year-old smoker. The inside of my mouth felt salty as if I'd licked a battery.
Полин, не бойся.
Paulina, don't be scared. I stuttered after hearing my own voice. It sounded unnatural, rough, and scary.
Полинка-то чё бояться?
Why should we be scared?
Лучше за себя беспокойся.
Worry about yourself. Fatso spit through the gap in his teeth. You know what? At least this one's taking care of his teeth. Pushed me so hard that I hit my back against a tree.
Ну как?
Well,
Страшно, мудила.
Mr. Pants Sucker. I heard Paulina's angry voice from behind.
Не трогайте его!
Stay away from him. It would have been better if Paulina wasn't around. I wish she wouldn't see me in such a shameful position.
Глядите-ка, пацаны!
Look at this, guys.
Девчонка
girl
за
is
него
defending him.
заступается.
Punch him again, punch him again.
Ага, циклона.
Yeah, what a f***ing wimp.
Ты, сука, приезжая. Не на того руку поднял.
You f***ed with the wrong guy, transfer student. Simon was moving towards me, readying a fist with a ring on it. In that moment, the other delinquent in track pants made a loud whistle, and the hulking boy lowered his hand. It was unexpected. It seems like Bubberin wasn't the leader of this gang. In reality, they were all listening to the boy who was looking like a small carnivore with very strong and sharp teeth. They decided against hitting me. They probably wanted to humiliate me in front of the girl first. Damn it.
Слышь, гондон,
Hey,
мать
oh my god! Ah,
А это кто? Еще одна подружка.
I'm not even gonna attempt to read that just because I know that's probably a big no-no word on YouTube. And who's that? Another one of your girlfriends?
Да у тебя тут гарем.
He has a f***ing harem, eh? Oh. Only then I noticed Zolka beside my legs trembling from cold snow plastered all over its fur. Probably ran all the way from the schoolyard searching for a smell. The delinquent squatted in front of the dog and beckoned it with its hand.
Ой ты, батюшки.
Oh my.
Ко мне,
Come here, you
сучка
fly-ridden bitch. The others let out nasty laughs. The dog's ears perked up and she started carefully moving
Иди
closer.
сюда. Иди,
Yeah, come
иди,
here, I've
да,
got something
кое-чего.
for you. Oh my god, don't hurt the... Dog didn't even have a chance to sniff him when this animal abuser caught it by the ear and kicked it right under the tail. so hard it flew to the nearest snow pile, squealing. Wow! Whole gang burst out laughing, and my heart got encrusted in ice. Even the birds that were perched up on the tree branches let out frightening caws. Then I noticed something strange. Paulina could hardly keep herself from smiling. Does she really hate dogs so much that what this skinny guy did amused her? After locking eyes with me, she changed a jubilant smirk to a thoughtful grimace. Why isn't she running away? I thought in horror. On the edge of my vision, I saw something flash in the illusory twilight of the sleeping forest. Or were that just bushes moving their icy branches in the wind?
Робка, она ж больше срать не сможет.
Ronka, I won't be able to shit after that.
Давай теперь я.
Let me kick the f***ing thing one more time.
Первый раз ебану
Two
в
negatives will make a
штанину
positive.
со сплетницей.
Dear God, you are a disgusting creature. But the stray was already nowhere to be seen.
Чего ты, баран?
Well, are you an idiot?
Толкуй его на очкарику, где его место.
Go and show the Four Eyes his place.
Только так, чтобы он понял.
In a way he'll understand.
Ага, за ним кофякна.
Yeah, he f***ing owes you.
Этот очкарик тебе
Wimp
при всем
whacked
классе
you
несёт.
up in front of the whole class. No, you deserved that. And probably way worse.
Да без Б.
Sort of thing. And punching time. Simeon brought the sizable signet ring with some geometric shape carved in it up to my face.
Ща, парашник, я тебе этой печаткой
In a
так
moment, I'll
зарежу.
hit your
Клеймо на всю жизнь
face so
останется.
hard it'll leave a mark for the rest of your life. Where did all my inner strength and bravery go?
Стой!
Stop! A wizardry whisper left my lips, and my head tilted forward, hitting Simeon's fist. Red sparks flew from my eyes. They're gonna gang up on me and beat me up. Whether the dog is owned by a demon or is a demon, and then they will be a solved problem then. Wonk.
Пусть они прекратят!
Roma, tell them to stop. Who? Roma?
Прости,
Oh.
но пацанам надо по-мужски
Sorry, but the
побазарить.
boys need to sort this out, man to man.
А тебе в сторонке постоять.
And you just stand aside and watch.
Подсоби!
Bielsha, give me a hand. Simeon gave a rough push toward the bastard with the slanted eyes, and he tripped me. This is going incredibly poorly. Fell in the sharp crust of ice, and the fatso stepped my hand, preventing me from getting up. A painful groan escaped my throat.
Слыхали, как заныл?
Did you hear him whimper?
А ты случаем не педик?
Is he actually a or something? I don't know if I need to like go into the stream afterwards and censor that word out so that YouTube doesn't get mad at me, but I very well may. Started to lose breath from anger and resentment. The pain was growing. My ear was hot and pulsating pain was shooting through it. Like it was cut off, a ball of a nettle was sewn in its place.
Че молчишь, Антошка?
Why so silent, Antoshka?
Отвечай, ты педик?
Come on, tell us, are you a... At this moment I found pure unbridled rage, yes. The amalgamation of my anger. Like the sprouts ink, it rose up from the depths of my mind, filling my thoughts.
Твари!
Morons.
Знаете,
Did you know
мой отец...
that my dad
Кто-то педик.
is also a... Embion burst out laughing. This became the last straw. Fear and anger were grappling inside me like
Он
mad
айкидо
dogs.
занимался. Поняли?
He knows Aikido, got it?
Он еще воевал.
And he's a vet.
Таких, как вы, с
And he'll
закрытыми
kill the likes of
глазами
you with
убивает.
his eyes closed. Oh, that explains why he's such Giga Chad.
Я только слово скажу.
One
он-
word from me and he'll... Rumka lifted up his arm, stopping my torrent of lies and made a couple of steps forward. Simeon slowly backed up. Oh, wait, those were lies. He's just Giga Chad naturally. Backed off, giving me an opportunity to stand up. And pines were swaying back and forth like solemn guardians. Did he believe me, or was he confused by my face twisting with rage?
Воевал, говоришь?
Now that you say.
Мой батя тоже воевал.
Dad's also fought in a
В
war.
Афгане.
In Afghan.
А твой?
And yours?
И мой.
Mine too.
Да, и в
Really?
каких войсках, интересно?
What force did he serve in? Calling out the lies, eh? Stumbled fear chomped at my rage's throat and made it bleed.
Да он фуфло гонит, Ромка.
He's full of shit, Romka.
Бля, будуна.
Sure as fuck, eh?
Думал, меня так просто развести?
Do you think I'm so easy to trick?
Я тебя,
I can see through all your lies, little bitch. There's a nasty smile on his face now. Artillery Grenadier Infantry Battalion 4th. Look, Kuda, we get it. You're better at lying than the kid here who, God names, I am not good at. But you know, you're better at lying. Also, you're probably not on adrenaline rush right now, so that's probably not interfering with the cloud of thought. This didn't bode well for me.
Ты сам себе приговор
Well, you've asked for
написал.
this.
В школе тебя
The
училка
teacher
спасла,
saved your
ну, а
school,
теперь
but here...
всё. Хана
You're
тебе.
fucked.
Во-во.
That's right.
Давай, Антошка. Молись, чтобы твой труп по весне нашли мне.
Pray that they find your dead body come spring, eh?
Сидел бы ниже травы, был бы целочкой.
If you only stayed silent, wouldn't have lost a hair.
Жирного стукнул, одно дело.
Hitting Fatso is one thing. Oh, even his own people call him Fatso.
Но про Афган пиздеть, где
Any
мой
specific
батя
battalion
патрульный.
name. But
Долг
looking around
интернациональный.
with stuff like
В дашке
Afghan,
Марго, блядь.
where my dad spent time under fire on international duty in f***ing Dash de Margo.
Сёма, ушатай-ка его.
Give him a good pounding, Sioma. You know, here's the thing, Kuda. You could have fooled me. You probably wouldn't have fooled him because you know. He seems to know a bit more. The delinquents closed in on me again, and I ended up in front of Semyon. Blood was pumping in my temples.
Ну, Ромочка, ну хватит.
Roma, please stop them.
Ты уже все доказал.
You proved your point. Yeah, but he hasn't provided a
Дай нам
corpse.
уйти.
Let us go.
Ты иди, иди.
You can go anytime.
А мы пока мусор
And we'll take up
приберем.
trash in the meantime. What bugged me at that moment wasn't even the humiliating attitude from Romka, but whether how sweet Polina had addressed him. The delinquents were pushing the girl toward the pines. Branches were swaying back and forth as if whispering something, giving me hope. Gritted my teeth, fighting the thought that I looked silly and took a boxing stance I often saw in the movies. Ah, good.
Хера ты, Майк Тайсон.
What are you, fucking Mike Tyson? This was my first ever fight. I'll remember it for the rest of my life if I don't kick the bucket, of course. At the edge of my vision, I noticed the darkness writhe again, as if someone was walking back and forth there. I sensed Roma's claws grab my backpack.
Манатки, Антошка.
Give me your Antoshka.
Махаться мешает.
It'll get in the way. I was about to refuse, unwilling to cooperate with the bastard. But then he fished a butterfly knife out of his pocket with this one smooth motion, spun it as if showing off, and put the blade to my neck. Oh, good, weapons.
Слышь, фрей, расслабься, а то больно будет.
Easy, buddy, I could make it painful. Oh god, this child is going to die. Let a cloud of steam instead of words. Romka pulled with all his might and my backpack ended up in his hands. Paulina shrieked. Romka winked at her as if saying, "Don't worry, I've got this." You know, have every legal right to use lethal force? Yeah, here's the thing. Given how the kid is, I don't think he can apply lethal force because I don't know if his body is capable of doing so. I don't know what his top force output is. An insidious smile on his face, he looked into my
Ты от
backpack.
нас что-то
Are you
скрываешь,
hiding
да?
something from us?
У меня в школе какая-то крыса
Some
сменку
rat
подрезала.
stole my school shoes.
Ща
Let's
поглядим,
see if it
может,
was...
Опачки!
And what's this? Romka gave me a dubious smile.
А так,
So what
а
do
что
we
это у
have
нас
here?
здесь?
My texts and notebooks fell in the snow. He was holding my backpack in one hand and something weird in the other. It looked like a mask. Roma lifted it high as if showing to someone else, to someone in the treetops, in the twilight among the trees. An old bunny mask. Finally, bunny. Long worn-out ears, barely visible nose and whiskers, mangy fur on the sides. Where did it come from? Who put it there? Semyon laughed.
Новый год уже прошел, мудила.
Way past New Year's, moron. Wait. Currently, Year of the Rabbit, 11, 99, 87? Wait. I forget, is this in 87? Did he ever put it inside the backpack? No, this is the first I'm seeing of this rabbit mask.
Или ты реально поехавший?
Oh, you really are a loony? Hey, I feel personally attacked by that one. I feel personally attacked by that one, okay? For many reasons.
Это не мое.
It's not mine.
Да как не твое,
How
Твоё
come it's not? It was in your
портфель
backpack. But no, yeah, just to double confirm, that rabbit mask, I never saw or heard anything about being put in there. Rumpo was watching the scene unfold with an evil smile on his face.
Дикари!
Savages.
раньше не
Is this the
видели.
first time you see a mask?
Таких конченых не видели.
As shitty as this? Yes.
А знаешь что?
You know what?
Надевай.
Put it on.
Зачем?
Why?
Надевай,
Because
говорю.
I'm telling you to.
Попрыгаешь перед нами.
You'll hop like a bunny for us.
Давай, давай!
Yeah, come on.
Или без штанов домой пойдем.
Or I'll have your pants to say. Not when Paulina's here.
Надену.
I won't. Probably has a curse of sort.
Сёма, надень-ка на него.
What was that laugh? I have a strange feeling like half the stuff in this game is cursed, so. Bielsha rushed to his friend's side and took the worn out mask from him with a buffoonish bow. Then he passed to Semyon, who was already rubbing his hands in anticipation. You could probably hear sticky stuff from his hands. Also, I'm gonna say, I didn't expect to just have my finger hot on the censor button tonight, but here we are. I guess technically I don't have to, but at the same time, keep up continuity here. Then he passed it to Semyon, who was already rubbing his hands in anticipation. I looked around the pine woods, as if waiting for help, as if the shadows that writhed around us would take pity on me and take my side. Branches looked like arms twisted in unusual angles. Blackened bark was their charred skin, and the darkness was the smoke they produced. It was only because the bullies showed up. Like, actually, no, if we're being completely honest, I would still have to censor some stuff solely because of the FA word that keeps popping up. I mean, hell, like I said, I might actually go back into the VOD and edit that out just so YouTube doesn't get mad at me, because I know that word is a touchy subject. Blackened bark was their charred skin, and darkness was the smoke they produced. I'm also just realizing, so if I hadn't punched him, I probably wouldn't have to be pressing the button so much. Why do 12-year-olds use that language so much? Can't run. Won't get away, they'll catch me. And then... No, I won't run, won't abandon Polina.
Только учти, Сёма,
Let me warn you, Sioma.
если он скакать не станет,
If
ты
you
сам
want
за
up.
него поскачешь.
He'll take his place, right?
Этот чмошник и не
This
станет.
piece of won't.
Да погляди на
Just
него,
look at
он
him.
же дурик.
He's a
конченый.
total loony. God, I keep... Stop insulting me!
Этот дурик
This
тебе
loony
уже раз в жбан зарядил.
has already smacked you in the face. And you deserve so much worse.
Ромка прав.
Romka's right.
Давай,
Come on, Fatso,
Восстанавливай
assert
авторитет.
your fucking dominance.
Или сам у нас
Or I'll make you
запрыгаешь,
hop
так
so
что
hard your
Титяндра отсыпется.
or will make you hop so hard your pig tits will fall off. What? What? You must indeed be scared of Romka. Simeon swore silently and glared first at me, then Polina.
Вот.
Here.
Это чтобы маска
It'll
хорошо
fit better
налезла.
this way. Ugh. Put a huge ball of spit on the inside of the plastic bunny face and put it close to mine. His spit looked like squashed spider. Rumka's face twisted. He spasmed like a beast, like he wanted to tell Semyon something, but then he suddenly stopped. Polina covered her face with her hands in terror. Semyon was still close by, with a disgusting smirk on his face and a terrible smell coming from his mouth.
Надевай, брат.
Put it on fast, or you're dead. Mask almost looked even more disgusting now, yet despite everything, I felt like it was a chance for salvation. It could become my second skin if only I was to put it on, if only my face was to touch its bumpy surface. I'm sure the fur will glitter, the ears will tremble like they're alive. I just need to put it on and Semyon and his friends will be gone. Forever. The options are put on the mask or tell him to f off. Save isn't important. I have those two there. This is just the main save, I think. How many? Oh. I didn't need to override that one. I have so many slots still here. 1 get wrecked or 2 get cursed. I'm gonna choose option 3, which is do a BRB, because I did. Jeez, this whole segment between choices was an hour long. Oh my god. But yeah, real quick before continuing this, I am going to. Oh god, OBS, stop messing around with me. I'm going to real quick switch to the BGM, and real quick, baraba. Alrighty. You know what? Took some time and thought about this. And I don't know. I feel in my BRB one thought came to mind. And I can tell you, coming from having played a bunch of Doom lately, rip and tear until it is done. For some reason, Romka's disappointment with Semyon made me feel brave. Something was wrong in their crew, some old disagreement. I should cut this old wood open. You know what, Semyon? My own voice, smooth and determined, was a huge surprise. I stepped forward and calmly proclaimed, off. Felt like the whole world was paused for a second, and then unpaused right away. Semyon's pupils widened. Those are tight pupils. The mask fell out of his meaty hands. He took a while to process my words, looking stunned as if he was trying to solve a difficult math problem. But the answer he got made him mad, judging by the bulging veins on his forehead. The others just observed the scene silently, waiting for the inevitable payback. I noticed Polina's face stretch in horror. You're dead. And... not even the ring tend. Semyon lunged at me like a hawk and clawed at my face with his twisted fingers and gnawed fingernails. Threw a kick toward the layer of fat under the coat. We get it, he's fat. Yes, get him. Good. At the same moment, the world became fuzzy, the black trees and the faces of my classmates all blurred. My glasses? Oh god, no. Like, what, can't see anything without them, sucker? He threw up his hands and hand that was holding my glasses toward the sky so I couldn't get to them. And we're right back here. Give them back right. Punch. Was interrupted by a leaning fist with a sharp signet that hit me on the brow, producing a cracking sound, throwing me to the frozen earth. Circle of blurry faces, dying from disgust, laughter was mocking me, making me want to puke. As soon as I was almost unable to catch my breath, a blurry figure rushed toward me. But instead of a new hit, I was offered an outstretched hand. I immediately grabbed it, hoping it was Polina, but I soon realized how wrong I was after I felt sting of dry blisters on the palm. It was Romka. He helped me stand up. Can't see anything, for real. His voice sounded compassionate, which surprised me. Squinted, trying to find Polina in the fog before my eyes. She was gathering my things and putting them back in the school bag. And what about your hearing? Huh? He leaned in closer and asked with a voice that was less friendly. Can you hear me fine, Antoshka? Yeah? I blinked in bewilderment. Well, then listen closely. He brushed off my coat and then hit me in the jaw with all his might. Oh, jaw clicked. If my tongue was between my teeth at that moment, I would not only be blind, but I would also talk worse than Biasha. I staggered. The world around me spun like a peg top again. Romka held me by the elbow, preventing me from falling over. Anton! Biasha locked her in his arms, preventing her from running to my side. Consider this a warning. If I ever see you anywhere near Polina again, even the meter close, I won't let it slide. Got it? Yeah. And to make it stick. Punch. Okay, ow. His fist landed on my temple, the world turned upside down. Oh god. Felt like I was falling into the sky, the color of decaying meat. Grabbed the roots to stop myself from tumbling more. Consciousness was drifting on top of the abyss, gliding to its depths like a deflated balloon. I tried to get up. The blurry silhouette that probably belonged to Polina was fighting back, but the others held her by the hands and dragged her away.
Домой тебя проводим, не бойся.
We'll take you home, don't be scared, eh?
Мало ли, какие
Yeah, who knows what kind of
птички в
psychos
доме
roam the forest? Well,
А Тоша пускай отдохнет.
Tosha, you should rest for a bit.
Полина!
Polina. Rumka's boot met with my face. Okay. My hand got twisted, the back of my head hit the ice, my eyes obediently rolled over. The darkness jumped out, took a stance, just to devour me. ... Tough luck was the achievement I just got. Ugh. Cough. Huh? Turned around, dug my nose into bed sheets, forced my eyes open with great difficulty. Paintings on the walls, books, a pile of comic magazines. I felt up my chin, afraid that it will respond with sharp pain. My fingers slid across my face, temple, no bumps, no pain. I sat up, blinking in surprise, fixed my glasses, steadied my hands, clean without any mud under the nails. My school bag was reclined on the table. I heard bits and pieces of conversation through the door. I was home, in my bedroom. It makes your ears uncomfortable? Buddy, I know the feeling because I was very uncomfortable through that whole thing. I am not good with high-pitched noises. There's a reason I tried to speed read and click through that quick. Did I get here myself? And what about my glasses? Did Semyon return them? Belina maybe? Or an unknown friend? I decided to leave that question for later. Looked out the window. The forest had many secrets, and it wasn't in a hurry to reveal them to me. The clock on a nightstand showed 10 a.m. The sun was already above the field, but it didn't bring any warmth. The thicket moaned from its cracking bones. Huh? Well, this is literally my only option here. Oh. This is a dream sequence. I went out to the hallway and the conversation became clearer. Laughter. Haven't heard Mom laugh in so long. In a silent house, among the sneaking shadows. Such an ordinary but dear laughter. I sneaked through the ladder to the lower floors as if afraid to spoil that moment. And then I asked him, do you have any comics? I want to buy some for my bunny. And he goes, your rabbit reads comics? Mom burst out laughing. Olya followed suit. Oh yeah, I tell him my bunny is well trained. Gosh, you're the best. Did you doubt me? Not even for a second. My mom and... Oh. Oh my god! The smile upon the father. Oh my god. That is straight up one of the Giga Chad photos. When I entered the kitchen, Mom was kissing Dad on the forehead and he was gently stroking her shoulder. Olya sat between our parents, armed with a fork. Polka dot cooking pot emanated a pleasant aroma, even with the lid on. Here it is.
Привет, Соня. Весь в отца.
Hey, sleepyhead. Took after your father and that. I will never get over his smile. Oh my god. White canvas of frosted window behind Mom's back made it look like she was on someone's painting.
Садись, садись. В ногах правды нет.
But this feels not real. No, remember, the parents are on the brink of divorce, which is why I immediately was like, oh, dream sequence. Come, sit down, take a load off your
А
feet.
завтрак самое
Breakfast is
важное
the
для
most
здорового
important thing
человека.
for any healthy person. I cannot get over this. I sat down, a charming smile upon my lips. Olya winked at looked at me, and the lamp on the table flickered in unison with her.
Заспанный какой.
You look sleepy. Well, I was just punched to hell and back.
Какой есть? Наш родной. В детдом сдавать поздно.
What can you do? He's a child. It's already too late to hand him over to an orphanage. Wonder if his face is deliberate. You know, I have to wonder that as well. Dad let out a dry laugh to show he was joking. Mom slapped him on the shoulder.
Голодная, страшно.
I'm so hungry.
А мы, думаешь, просто так тут слюной капаем?
You think you're the only person who's dripping saliva over here? There's more than one, ma'am. There are other ways to express your appetite.
Братик, ты так кушать
Big
будешь?
Bo, will you eat like this? How? I caught the sparkling gaze of my parents on myself. If I had a camera at the moment, I would have taken a snap so I could always look at those smiles on a photograph. I wanted this beautiful moment to last forever. The light bulb went out and then came back. The window glass shuddered slightly.
Сними маску, сынок.
Take the
Есть же неудобно.
Take the mask off. Son, it'll get in the way of eating.
Какую маску?
What mask? A silly smile got stuck on my face. Dad showed me his sturdy white teeth that looked like piano keys.
Снимай, снимай, заяц.
Come on, take it off, bunny. I slid my hand across my cheek, let out a laugh. What do you mean? The whole family was laughing now, pointing their fingers at me, slapping their knees and the tablecloth. Dad wiped his wet eyes with his knuckles.
Ух, насмешил ты нас.
Well, good job
Ну,
making us
молодец.
laugh, son.
А теперь маску.
Now take off your mask, please. I touched my face again. My skin went numb.
Но на мне нет маски.
But I'm not wearing a mask. Okay, angry mother. Mom fidgeted on her chair. She tilted her head and squinted. The canvas behind her back turned gray and kept getting darker with every passing moment.
Пока не снимешь,
Oh,
не начнем.
we can't start until you take it off. Did her eyes just do a full spin?
Но я не могу уже терпеть.
I can't wait anymore.
Сними маску, не валяй дурака.
Take off the mask. Stop fooling around. His voice was kind but firm.
Мам, Тоша меня пугает.
Mom, Tosha's scaring me. Chair like scraped against the floorboards. Olya moved a... I'm sorry, but that chair screech was good. She wasn't smiling anymore. Actually, there wasn't a single smile left in the room if you don't count the cracks on the walls.
Что ты наделал? Твоя сестра
What have you
плачет.
done? You made your sister cry. But... Oh... Olya sobbed, her eyes downcast, sneaking fearful glances at me. Oh! Mom slammed her fist on the table and I almost fell to the floor along with the chair.
Сын
Да.
называется. Мы веселились, а тут
A
ты пришел.
disgraceful son.
Все.
We're all having fun and then you came around and ruined everything. Splashes of saliva flew at me. Okay, well, your mouth was over-salivated. What? I turned to Dad, begging him to explain what was going on. Sticky syrup trickled down his beard, falling on his shirt. His eyes looked in different directions. Okay, Demon Mother. There was a loud sound in the attic. Water pipes grumbled. Hello, Mother. Oh no, the dream is distorted. The house was alive. Every room had someone rustling, moving around, breathing in it. The light bulb started to flicker like a stroboscope. Photosensitivity warning, I guess. Faces of my parents disappeared into darkness, only to appear again moments later. Oh God! Yep, photosensitivity warning. Outside, a tall shadow walked past the window. Syrup or blood? Good question. I think it's blood. I was about to jump and run away, but my body wasn't listening to my commands. My hands just obediently stayed on the table. I was just an onlooker. What? The lights went out. I spent 3 heartbeats in complete darkness. Oh, she's the bunny. Then the bulb flashed with blinding light. 3 masks were looking at me with their gaping eyes. A fox woman where my mom was just a moment ago. Speed. It's more stroby. Wolfman at the head of the table. And the bunny girl, my Olya. Couldn't even ask why they wore those strange, scary animal faces and why the fur on them was moving as if there's something writhing inside the masks, making the papier-mâché bulge. My tongue didn't listen to the commands my brain sent to it. I'd only shift my gaze between the masks, watching the long, twisted shadows behind the backs of my family.
Кушать подано!
I don't know if it came through, but that audio was heavily distorted. Bon appetit, she tore off the lid from the pot. What is it? Oh! A cut-off head was lying in the bloody gravy. A pair of glazed eyes was drilling me from inside the pot. Its mouth was open in a silent scream. The head at the bottom of the pot belonged to me. Blood ran down the agonized face of the cut-off head. At the same time, something hot started streaming from my nostrils. Scarlet drops falling on the tablecloth. Eat up. Dot dot dot. I jumped. My jaw was burning. Gotta imagine if that was actually reality, you know? That would be something. The kitchen, the beasts, enamel masks, and the dead head, everything had disappeared. Everything but the goddamn mask that was haunting me. One of the delinquents put it on me for the laughs. I tore off the bunny face that had already stuck to my face, threw it to the darkness, and realized that I woke up near a crumbled snowman in the forest, covered in snow and coniferous needles, without my glasses, and with a smashed face. Let's be real, that dream is probably closer to reality, 'cause, winter, Russia, this kid's dead of hypothermia by this point. So I blacked out. Horrible. Pulsating pain seemed like a gift compared to the horrors I just witnessed. I stood up, spitting out blood. Or seemed like a prison that was keeping me in with its wooden bars. I didn't know how long I was out. My limbs were numb from the cold. My pants were soaking wet. I stood alone in a ring of towering trunks, not being able to see anything. Everything around me moved, trembled. My ears went numb from all the rustling. The treetops melted into the darkness of the cosmos. The bushes became empty cells whose occupants were suddenly set free. Felt like a clawed fang could fly out of the darkness into my stunned face at any moment. Heard a scream somewhere far away. Anton! Father! Someone was looking for me just like that boy who went missing. Tears stung my eyes. A big drop fell from my lashes. Father! Father! The scream was close enough, but for a moment I even believed that I was about to be saved. I'm here. The light hit my face. I covered it with my hand. Flashlight's ray slid down. Father! Anton, there you are. Father! Are you out of your mind? What's this about? That's not the first thing that would be coming to my mind if I would see my child lying down in the snow, but you know what? I'm not a Giga Chad. Went toward him. He has his hat. Yeah. Look, it's like God, what year is this game set in? I forget. It's like 1980s, 1990s Russia era, so I mean... Yeah, no, makes sense. But I'm hoping he won't melt. That he's not another trick that my insane mind played on me. He turned out to be real warm and alive.
Язык проглотил.
Got your tongue?
Я встретил твою одноклассницу на
I've met the
дороге.
girl from your
Она
class on the
сказала,
road. She said... Branches cracked in the distance. I pressed myself in my father's chest, engulfed by fear, and he started looking around, alerted, and spoke in a tone of voice that was much more nervous.
Так, пойдем отсюда скорее.
Okay, let's get out of here.
Мать узнает, такой нагоняй нам устроит, мало не покажется.
If your mother learns of this, she'll be so mad at us that we'll never forget this day. I reached out for my father, still feeling the chilling embrace of fear. Grabbed his firm hand, felt his quick pulse with my fingertips. Then stood up and wobbled along behind my father, following his barely discernible footprints. Back to civilization, back to light, back to the road where my dad parked his
Чтобы
car.
дома ни слова, ясно?
Not a word about this when we get home, got
Ни
it?
единого намека, где я тебя
Don't even
нашел.
hint at where I found you.
Да, пап.
Alright, Dad. He was holding my hands as if it was the most precious thing in the world and kept telling me how afraid he is to lose me or Olya. I nodded and moved my legs. Dot dot dot. Only when we got to the car, Dad noticed my scratches.
Тебя били?
Somebody hurt you? I felt up my cheek.
Подрался.
I got into a fight.
Из-за чего?
Over what?
Из-за девушки.
A girl. Oh, there was more to it than that. Dad replied with a thoughtful nod. I heard the low hum of the engine. My dad wore a fearful expression. It wasn't that sticky fear that paralyzed me in the nightmare, though. His fear was noble, like crystal clear diamond. He opened the glove box and got some napkins out of there.
Драться за девушку? Это правильно.
Fighting for the girl you like is right. That is not what you want to teach a child.
Да, нужно решать конфликт словами, но иногда...
Yes, normally you try to resolve
иногда
things
слова
with
не
words.
помогают.
It's just sometimes words don't work. Dad flashed an encouraging smile at me. Okay. Oh! I didn't realize what was in the glove box. Right as he was about to close the glove box, I noticed a handle peeking from under a rug. He was carrying a gun around. My dad, a true intellectual, had a pistol with him. Like an action movie hero. More like an ordinary thug, some voice whispered to me. Pines were flying by the window, the car's light were struggling against the darkness. The car carried me back home. Dad was cautiously studying me in the back mirror. I was thinking about the gun, about my dreams, about people in ammo masks that pretended to be my parents. The white snowflakes just kept dancing in the starry sky. Look what the cat dragged in. Mom was going down the stairs, piercing Dad with her trademark glare. Her face showed something between wrath and condescension. Suddenly her gaze shifted to me and stayed for a dangerously long time.
Так, я не поняла.
Hey, what's
Антон.
this?
А где очки?
What are your glasses, Anton?
Потерял?
Did you lose them?
Да в школе поди забыл.
Dummy probably just forgot them at school. A venomous pause followed.
Весь в тебя.
He's your son, alright? Dad glared at Mom and then mischievously winked at me, reminding me of our deal. I mean, I'm flashing back to the keys situation from the other part.
Ну ничего, есть же запасные. Проживем как-нибудь.
Well, we have spare glasses, so we'll manage somehow. My parents stood in silence a bit longer, and then both... And then... Oh, and then both of them went to mind their own businesses. It's supposed to be an N. Olya threw herself into my arms before I could even take off my coat.
А я лису увидела!
You saw a fox? Surprise akin to a shotgun blast. Two things do not go together here. Give me a moment, drinking quick. I could only flap my lips in reply. You back miss anything? End of the dream. Dad came yeah, you saw the dad come. I don't know if you saw the glove box gun. There was an agreement not to tell mom about it, and the glasses are still gone. A cup shattered into many little pieces with a loud thang. My mom let it fall from her hands. Her face was pale and her eyes were glued to the ground. This pause, just a split second, felt like an eternity. Then my mom spoke with disappointment. First it was an owl, now it's a fox. Will you ever get tired of this?
Правда, правда.
But it's true.
Такая пушистая.
She was so fluffy.
Она у забора стояла на задних лапах, совсем как человек.
Stood on her back legs near the hedge, just like a person.
Она меня позвала.
Fox called my name, but then Mom
вышла,
came
и
and she
лиса
fled.
убежала.
There was no fox. Stop making things up.
Не подходи к ней.
Don't go near her. What? If it was necessary, I was ready to shake my sister as if she was a doll made of cloth.
Ты чего, Тоша?
What's wrong, Tosha?
Не подходи, слышишь?
Don't go. Do you hear me? Mom entered the hallway and gave me a surprised look. I hesitated.
Ну, лиса ведь укусить может.
Well, a fox will bite you. I remembered fairy tales where foxes used to kidnap children. I imagined Elisa, liberated, carnivorous, running through the night forest with a dangling sack in her
Это
hands.
ж была не настоящая лиса.
Wasn't a real fox.
Расскажи ему, Оль.
Tell him, Olya.
Она на двух ногах ходила, а еще была в платье
She
одета.
stood on two legs and she wore a dress.
Только она была взаправду.
And she was real.
Видишь?
See? Mom showed us a tired... Oh, sorry, smack the mic. Tired smile as if it was the only explanation needed. I also forced myself to smile. My smile was like a thin piece of soap right before it dissolved completely on your palm. But when I was left alone with my sister, I whispered,
Сейчас увидишь ее. Беги.
if you see her again, run. Memories about my family in disgusting masks attacked, bombarded me like the underhanded blows of my classmates. The furry faces of my family stood before my eyes, their toothy mouths full of thick saliva. What's happening to me? What kind of tricks is my mind playing on me? This bunny mask was real. It just appeared in my school bag out of nowhere, as if I never threw it away in the forest. I shut my eyes and threw the vitamins in my mouth, washed them down with water. Please stop driving me mad, please. I barely managed to force myself to do homework, but those math problems just refused to be solved. Numbers in my notebook tumbled around, mixed in a whirling dance, sometimes running over the lines. My head became heavy from the pandemonium, and I almost dropped it into the chain of numbers. My eyelids felt like they were tiny weights tied to them, the type used in grocery stores. And right at that moment, I surrendered and closed my notebook. The memories of my day started flashing before my eyes. I was in the middle of a stuffy school corridor. I could see the literature classroom from here, the faces of dead classical writers on their portraits, the prim and regal pose of our homeroom teacher, Lilia Pavlovna, and around the corner was her daughter, Katya, a snitch and a gossip eagerly waiting for me.
Эй, новенький,
Hey, transfer student, transfer student.
Чего тебе, Кать?
What do you want, Katya? She got on her tiptoes and started swaying while hiding her hands behind her back, and then asked me with a fake smile on her face,
Скажи, пожалуйста,
"Can I ask you a
отчего это
question?
тебя к нам
Why did you
перевели?
transfer here?" Might have told the truth about this to Polina, but Katya will sell it on the market for 3 kopikas. It would be the same as printing all my thoughts and hanging them near Vova's picture for everyone to see. So I reverted to an answer I knew by heart.
Это все из-за моих родителей.
It's all because of my parents.
Папы тут новая работа. А мама...
Dad has a new job here, and my mom. But Katya didn't even listen to me, just rushed toward the perked abuse of her friends, whispered something while stealing glances at me and giggling.
Да,
Yeah.
конечно.
Yeah, right.
Он нас тут совсем за дурачков держит.
He takes us for fools.
Я
I've
вот
heard
слыхала,
it's all
что
because
это
of his
всё из-за
father.
его отца. Он недавно кому-то крутому дорогу перешел, и теперь они всей своей семьей
He crossed the road
в
of some
нашем
big
захолустье
shot,
скрываются.
and now their family's hiding out in our remote little village. Wow.
Неправда! Ты все врешь!
It's not true, you're lying.
А слышали? Слышали, как ему бабурин всыпал?
Did you hear how Baburin beat him
А
up?
этот лишь ручки опустил.
And all he could do was look pathetic and take it. Oh my. What lovely child faces.
Прекрати! Ты знаешь, он не один был!
Stop it, you know he wasn't alone.
И будто этого мало.
And if that wasn't enough, there are rumors that this weirdo carries a bunny mask with him wherever he goes.
Ой,
Who in the
девочки,
right
ну
mind
кто
would
же в
do
своем
something
уме
like that,
будет
huh?
такое делать?
Girls? Oh, great, yeah.
Ясно, понятно.
I
Со
see, I see.
странностями наша Антошка.
Antoshka must be truly special.
Может, слабоумный, а может,
Maybe he's an autist, but what if
и маньяк.
he's a serial killer?
Если в его
I'm sure you'll be
портфеле
able to
что-то
find an
такое,
axe in his backpack if you look hard enough, or something even worse.
Да-да-да.
Yes, yes, yes.
Замолчи! Заткнись!
Shut up.
Ха-ха, вон как раскричался-то, будто ужаленный.
Look at him scream as if something's bit him.
А
God, I just...
зрачки-то, зрачки какие широкие.
His pupils, look how wide they are.
Опять чего доброго
I hope he won't go insane and resort to violence again.
Не зря же его мать с таблетками пичкает.
I mean, there must be a reason his mom always feeds him those pills, right? How do you know about that? Sit there in confusion, trying in vain to understand how she found out about my mess, and what scared me even more was the possibility that her nonsense had some truth mixed in. I feel like this is just a case of she's spitballing and trying to see what sticks. And that's how you find the true stuff.
Да-да,
Yeah, that's right.
он такой же ненормальный,
He's as insane
как
as
и
his
его
little
сестрица.
sister. I'm sorry.
Представляете, к этой сумасшедшей дурочке
Can you
каждую
imagine?
ночь
She says that a
прилетает сова
human-sized
ростом
owl
человека.
visits her every night. Yes, yes, yes.
Только что-то её никто из здоровых
But not a single
людей
healthy
не видел.
person has seen it.
А этот наивный простак ей
And this
верит.
simpleton believes her.
Нет,
Can you imagine
ну вы
that? Well,
представляете?
given what Tosha has seen. And then I caught a single kind of look from the smirking crowd.
Как же так, Антон?
How can that be, Anton? Huh?
Неужели действительно тебе не здоровится?
Are you unwell? What?
Полина, послушай меня!
Как же?
Yeah, alright.
Не слушай
Don't
этого
listen to
болтуна,
this liar,
Полиночка.
Polinochka? Polinochka?
Свистит он, что в Москве бывал, как
He's
пидор.
probably never been to
Это
Moscow.
ничтожество
This
даже
loser can't even stand
постоять за
up for
себя не
himself.
может. А при случае
And he won't be able to
из-за тебя он
defend
выступит.
you if it comes down to it.
Бросит, думает,
He'll
как
run
бы
away to
только
protect
самому
his own
по шее не
skin.
схлопотать.
Did you see the futile attempts he made?
Слабак.
Weakling. Melina slouched as if someone kicked her in the stomach and then burst out in tears and fell to the dirty floor, wailing and screaming. I don't know if this is another dream sequence. I think this is. No. Why, Anton? Why? I couldn't understand her reaction, but I still rushed to play aside before getting shoved violently by Katya.
Убери от
Get
неё
your
свои
paws
лапы,
off her, you
чудовище.
monster. Rage was building under the veil of my fear. Oh, yep. Oh, hey, it's the Arthur meme. Man, we got Giga Chad, the Arthur Finch clenching. What other memes will show up? I felt my upper lip lift creep up, showing my teeth. The fact that your father beats your mother doesn't give you the right to do the same to girls. My fists became hammers. I couldn't unclench them. Nobody can speak about my family like that. Inner senses when I already lunged at the angry Katya. Aha, he went nuts, Wow, children are awful. Help, Petrova went completely insane. Oh boy. At the same time, the crowd around her became louder, it started whistling and roaring, and growing. Okay, good, yep, this is still a dream. The subtle silhouettes of my schoolmates became larger, wider. They shot upward toward the ceiling, turned into giant black forests chock full of toothy faces. I shrank into a tiny ball of fur and started shaking in fear before the might of unclear, ulcer-ridden trunks belonging to either trees or humans. It was impossible to tell. So you've finally shown your animal nature. Coward. Katya's face was twisted with jubilation and ecstasy. Why? No. Why did you do this to me? Polina screamed while choking on her tears. He is just an animal. Kind of. An outsider. Oh! Scary flapping wings came from the forest. A pair of giant white ears descended somewhere from above, and I dug myself into them. Please? Wake up. What? I jumped up, almost falling out of bed. Another dream sequence. Apparently I was thrashing around for hours on the sweat-soaked sheets. Olia's scream pulled me out, set me free from the tentacles of fear. Anton? Please? Wake up, wake up. It took my eyes a while to focus on the silhouette near the window. Olia's voice was distant, my head was still ringing after the fight. Sounds got distorted as if my ears were stuffed with cotton. My sister, as distressed as ever, just kept on repeating the same phrase. The owl, the owl. Please. I'm scared. Ay, ay, ay. New start. Hello, Callie. And also, I had already caught some glimpses of, yeah, it's not great. Her tears poured on my heart like boiling water. But I was almost thankful for the owl's appearance. Otherwise, the scared Olia wouldn't have woken me up. Ah, yes, tormented younger sister for your own benefit. Ah. You know what, Callie, though? I'm just gonna say, I had no knowledge of that game's existence until... Well, no, I had heard about it, but I had... Like, earlier today, I saw some stuff on it, and by that I mean thumbnails.
Оля, я сейчас.
Wait a sec, Olia.
Хочешь, я тебе мурзилку
Only the read the Murzilka for you.
Подожди.
Give me... I placed my bare heels on the cold floor, felt around for my glasses. Remembered Semyon and his underhanded act and sighed. Oh man, it's not even optimized for consoles. You'd think that would be easier to optimize for because uniform hardware. Anton. Please, please. I could have just taken my voice clip from earlier and put that there. Look. She couldn't tear her eyes out the window as if it was a staring contest. Found the light switch with my hand. The lamp poured bright light all over me. I got up. My vision fooled me, moving the window closer only to push it farther the next moment. My sister was just a blurry spot. I took a hesitant step forward.
Оль,
Olya,
что там?
what's there?
Что-то случилось?
What happened?
Ты хочешь, чтобы я открыл шторы?
Do you want me to open the curtains? No, please don't. The owl... What? The owl is there. Yeah, the directional audio there. The voice was coming from behind. Turned around and froze from terror. That was, Teary-eyed Olya stood in the doorway. Who are you talking to right now? That was... Okay, that was good. She stared at me with the eyes that were red from crying, with her hands wrapped around her shoulders. Her voice was nervous, as if she was afraid to hear my answer.
Я разговаривал с тобой, с тем, кто
I was talking to you,
притворился
to someone who pretended to be you. Oh! Ledge outside my window creaked ominously as if something huge was sitting on top of it. Yikes. And the thing that pretended to be Olya started spreading, changing shape, growing to scary heights under the light of a carnivorous moon. Anton, please. Come closer, come here. The voice didn't belong to my sister anymore. No, buddy, when I say I've literally only seen thumbnails, I've only seen like YouTube thumbnails on it, I have not seen anything else on it, Callie. The voice didn't belong to my sister anymore. The thing that was hiding behind my curtains got tired of pretending, making me look like a fool. I pinched myself as hard as I could, hoping that the silhouette near the window was just a continuation of my nightmare, a hallucination brought upon by the cursed house. And those don't bite, do they? So it was towering before me under the veil of mist. I heard Olya's shrill scream when someone had knocked on the window. It came to get us. It does look like Owl. Another knock, I stepped back into the middle of the room, as if there existed nooks where I could hide from this horror. Knock, knock. The sound was sharp, metallic. The lamp started shimmering, then suddenly lightened the whole room and went out like a candle in the strong wind. The darkness that was waiting for that exact moment poured from all angles and enveloped me. There was only this window left in the whole universe. Moonlight poured through it, painting everything the color of bones that were exhumed from a crypt. Olya started squealing and pressed herself into my back, seeking protection. BRB. Oh, good time! Good time, Kuda, for the BRB on that one. And then an eye burned with a carnivorous fire stared at us from the window. Knock, knock. Knock, 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 knock. No, it wasn't trying to break the window. It was toying with us. It just kept knocking, driving us mad. Knock, knock. As if a giant... As if a giant clock was measuring time for us. Its pendulum swinging above the abyss. Wait a minute. Is it just me, or is the knocking in the Terminator's theme song risen? Wait. Do 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 do. That gets loosely. Go away. Get out. Shoo. She was screaming in desperation, her hands clutching my arm like a pair of pincers. Anton, Anton. Come closer. I can barely make out a pair of wings that spread above the black spot. Tell her, Anton. Tell it that I won't be a bad girl anymore. What? Never, never. I just wanted to leave. Please. The moonlight suddenly disappeared and the room descended into darkness. We couldn't see the burning eye anymore. I swallowed the stingy lump that was stuck in my throat. Oh. Stepped towards the curtains, entranced by the call of this disfigured guest. Olia was standing behind me, mumbling, "I'll be good, I'll be good, I'll be good." The bleak window was creeping closer, curtains rustled. I reached out to move them aside so I could look my fear in the eye. At that moment, I heard noise coming from her parents' bedroom. Without thinking, I pulled the curtain to the side in one swing. Nothing. Though there was something shining on the ledge among the scattered feathers. My glasses. The one that Semyon took from me. How did they get here? Okay. Was that a gift from the gurgling night? Did that owl really bring them here? I looked at the front yard and the foreboding clearing at the toothy forest. Not a soul, not a trace of our late night guest. Only the old lamppost dreaming like a lone watchman along the snowy desert. The dry window frame creaked. I tore away the insulating tape and the stripes of glued newspapers. Opened the window with big trouble. Frost pinned me with its little needles. The paintings on my walls moved from the draft. I touched my glasses. Sure, they would melt in my hands, but they were real. My brain was scrambling for an explanation. Semyon and his gang just pulled a prank on me. That was it. That's it. A smooth white blanket was glittering under the street lamp just outside our yard. If anybody was to get close to the house to climb the pipe to the ledge of my window, they would surely leave footprints. But there were none. I cautiously took my glasses. My wrists was still intact. Nobody pulled me into the darkness, full of restless
Вы
writhing.
почему не спите?
Why aren't you in bed? I swayed away from surprise and almost fell out of the window.
Совсем сдурели?
Are you out of your mind?
Жарко, что ли?
Did it feel hot in here?
Не болели давно?
Do you want to catch a cold?
Там сова была. Тоша ее прогнал.
The owl is here. Toss it, taste it away.
А ну-ка,
Go
марш
to your room
спать к себе в
immediately and
комнату.
get in your bed.
А с тобой...
And you. Mom paused, directing her seething eyes at me. She was thinking of a punishment equivalent to my crime. In the end, she just waved her hand, took Olya by the shoulder, and left, throwing gloomy words my way.
Завтра поговорим.
We'll talk tomorrow. But I have glasses. I could show you these glasses. I would like to show you the glasses that I supposedly lost today. I managed to get the frame back in place with a couple of hits, pressed the latches with all the strength my fingers could muster. The cold left the room, but the fear was still present. Placed my glasses on my nose and started studying my reflection in the window. It didn't look like my face, more like a death mask. It looks surprisingly fine considering the throttling you got today. Just like the one worn by the boy from the notice board. That night I was on the edge of joining him there. Black and white face was staring at me through the clearing between student heads. And it wasn't Vova, his face was right beside it. I recognized the fat cheeks, the damaged skin. Semyon! Babrin's photo was printed out and placed under the glass. Like an exhibition piece. And that was the end of episode 2 on that, huh? So episode 2 was like 4 hours long. Actually, okay, so real quick. Huh. 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 I'm not gonna lie. So I'm actually... Oh, episode 1 was only like 2.5 hours. This one was closer to 4 hours? 4 hours in total, I think. I know episode 3 is all that the game has out right now, if I'm not much mistaken. If I am not much mistaken, I'm double checking though. Yeah, I believe... Maybe it has more to it, I don't know. I don't know how many episodes are in it exactly, but episode 3 was the last thing posted. So I'm gonna do a BRB, and then I think I'm gonna go like an hour-ish in to chapter 3. So real quick, switch to my BGM so I don't get into a copyright thing. And real quick, alright, bye. I am back. Perfectly timed piano. Episode 3. He's the one who hated Baburin. You think he did it? I thought it's a weirdo. I hurriedly rubbed my glasses. The glasses. Semyon was clutching them in his fists while I was getting beaten up. And in just a couple hours, the lost item was lying on the ledge of my window. It was hard to imagine that Sioma suddenly got guilty conscious and returned my glasses in such a strange way. I was shocked but kept walking toward the classroom, accompanied by nasty whispers all around me. The photo stood still before my eyes. Semyon had gone missing. Semyon is gone. His fat fingers will never get to my throat. His signet ring won't smash into my chin. He'll never humiliate me again. Wasn't that what I wished for? Yes! Yes! On the other hand, did I really wish Semyon to become a murky stain on the notice board? He was still someone's son, a grandson, and he went through the same struggles as me. Did I really wish for my unseen companion to dispatch him in such a brutal fashion? I didn't know the answer. Or I was just scared of it. Nonetheless, school still had something nice about it. One-track mind. Polina, the girl with a violin, was like a mountain spring, like well water that you gulp down, pressing your lips against the zinc outer ring of a bucket, and can't ever get enough. Remembering our walk yesterday cooled off my head. Polina's hatred towards dogs, while understandable, was still alarming. Could a charming girl like her really be nesting something so repulsive inside her heart? I immediately remember my dad's shady past that recently resurfaced. The person I idolized was the reason for us moving to this bleak countryside. At least he was according to Mom's screams that were coming from the other side of the wall. Still, Polina tried to defend me from a delinquent gang, even if she failed at it. She was pleading for Romka to leave me alone and gathered my belongings that were strewn about the forest while fighting tears. And when those bastards tried to drag her away, she resisted with all her might she had in her fragile body. Your body ain't much better, bub. In the end, she was the one to find my house, lost among the taiga, and told my dad that I lied there alone in the dark, abandoned in the middle of the forest after the beating. Maybe I'm being too harsh on her. What if I make her one of the characters in the story I'll draw? The protagonist will save her from terrifying monsters. Maybe she could do it herself. Maybe she could do it herself. As soon as I thought of monsters, a bunch of my classmates slid down the rails, smirking like the xenomorphs from Alien. Immediately felt larva feel writhe in my stomach. I don't want to cross paths with Romka and Byosh after what happened yesterday, especially since Semyon suddenly went missing. Polina seemed eager to talk to me, but her expression soured after noticing the aforementioned duo, and she walked past, leaving me a single sorry look. I entered the classroom and went toward the last row. All the chatter suddenly died down, so I walked there in complete silence. Felt my classmates pushed and poked me with their stares. They carefully observed my every move. They looked at me with a mortifying mix of pity, ridicule, and derision. Like a scientist looking at an ugly representative of a newfound species of worms. I stood at the desk with a huge pile of library textbooks on top, my fists clenched. Felt like I was the one who disappeared in that snowy forest, and my desk was finally used for something worthwhile. Simeon's empty chair stood in front of me, the chair that once belonged to Vova gathered dust. Somewhere in another classroom. Oh. I couldn't see the eyes. I looked at the portraits of the classical writers my eyes stopped on Essin's photo. Last year I was tasked with learning any poem, and that's just I learned one about the dog Jim, written by Essenin. Don't remember the stanzas by now, but the last one was somehow deeply ingrained in my memory. I'm sure she'll come here in my absence. Please catch her eye, go kiss her hand for me. For all my real or fancied errors asking forgiveness of her in humility. Everyone my age I knew had something like this in his arsenal. Powder, firecrackers that blow up with a very loud sound, especially inside an archway. It is said that they are produced in China and that a single one of them can blow your fingers off if you light it up and clutch it in your hand. Especially the black Corsair type. They won't be enough to blow up plastic soldiers, but when it comes to stuff made of plaster, they should work. An old cheap slide projector. Oh, stretching quick. Oh. Okay. An old cheap slide projector. I called this model a tank because it looked like one. Yeah, I get it. There was a time when I had a lot of cool fairy tales that we used to watch with Dad in complete darkness. I remember Little Raccoon and One Who Sits in the Pond, Kipling's Mowgli, and many others. I was immediately swept away by the memory of the projector's hum, of its hot casing, of its bright rays hitting the wall, turning it into a screen. It's a pity that this school's slides were mostly about minerals and PSAs. Sit down time. After a moment of hesitation, I sat down at Bubrin's desk, the place where I was supposed to be assigned by Lilia Pavlovna at first. A chatter resumed as if someone just unpaused a movie.
Бабушка Бабурина такой кипиш устроила, когда он домой не явился.
Bubrin's grandma made such a fuss when he didn't return
Сначала в
home.
школу прибежала,
First she
потом
ran to
лицо
school,
вывела.
then called the cops.
Да-да-да.
Yes, yes, yes. Katya snuck a cunning glance at me, then leaned into her neighbor and whispered something. Girls from the second row also leaned in. She shared something with them too. Whispers, nods. I kept catching her stare at myself. Her neighbor stared too. The whole class was watching me. It was like they felt the need to watch me because they were searching for traces of blood on my fingers. I wanted to defend myself, shout, "Guys, I'm innocent!" Everyone's turned around and stared at me in silence. Their looks were dripping with malice. But why? What did I do to them? Their friend went missing and they're still focused on me. Suddenly I noticed Biasha drilling a hole in my nose with his eyes. I felt like he was about to point a finger at me and shout at the top of his lungs, "Everyone look! Babrin scratched his glasses yesterday and now he has them back. Murderer!" But he remained silent as if there was nothing special at all about my glasses. Give me a moment. There we go. You know, I figured I should put these on to more so fit what is going on here. Figure it's a little more fitting if I have glasses to match. I may be going mad, but I think Biasha knows something. He knows something, but he won't tell me what. Rommel gave me a meaningful glance as if reminding me of his promise. My aching temple reminded me of it. I needed to stay away from Polina. As if looking for protection, I clutched the ruler until my hand hurt.
Не надо быть Коломбо, чтобы догадаться.
You don't have to be Columbo to solve this.
Кто на Бабурина зуб имел?
Who held a grudge against
Кто
Baburin?
его вчера ударил?
Who hit him yesterday, bullied him, and then... The metal rule fell on my weak fingers. It hit the floor with a jiggle that made the other kids shudder. Katya bit her tongue and squirmed nervously. Chairs scraped against the floor. My classmates moved away from me closer to the exit, toward the teacher's desk. I was not the only one to catch wind of that change. Romka and Biasha looked around, winced in contempt. Too bad they weren't afraid of me like everybody else. Shut it. Huh?
Бабурин, небось, с бабкой посрался и сдымил на.
I bet you Baburin just got a whipping from his old hag and ran off.
Скоро найдется.
They'll find him soon.
Найдется, ага.
They'll find him all right.
В овраге со вспоротым брюхом.
In the ravine with his stomach cut open. God, kids are terrible. I gulped. I imagined Sioma on a snowy blanket, his face white like a fish. White like a fish belly split down the middle by the crevice of his mouth. Snowflakes falling on his glassy eyes and filling up his throat. See, I could almost hear his condescending tone. It's all your fault. But why was Semyon the only one get his just desserts for bullying me? Weren't all of them supposed to disappear? Romka, Biasha, Katya, along with every laughing onlooker? Of course, Semyon did me a favor by disappearing. Thanks to him, my classmates now stared at me in awe. But that was only one side of the coin. What if I'll have to repay that favor soon? The door creaked and Polina entered the classroom. Straightened up in a hurry so she wouldn't see me looking like a scared critter. Polina found me with her eyes and gave me a short nod and went to her seat. Katya rushed to her neighbors again like a lab rat that saw a treat and started whispering, switching her gaze between me and Polina. Messages on pieces of paper started jumping around the classroom. The bell scared the hell out of me.
Так, заканчиваем бардак. Дети,
Alright,
встаньте.
stop messing around, class, stand
Петров,
up.
тебя это тоже касается.
You too, Petrov. Lilia Pavlova went to her desk followed by a policeman in uniform. It was the man that visited us just recently, tall and his stare so sharp you could get cut on it.
Здрасте.
Hello there, kids. Hi.
Садитесь.
You can sit down, kids.
Познакомьтесь. Это старший
This is
лейтенант
Senior
Константин
Lieutenant
Владимирович
Konstantin Vladimirovich Tikhonovo.
Он задаст вам несколько вопросов и проведет небольшую лекцию по безопасности.
He's going to ask you a couple of questions and give you a small PSA. The class livened up. Talking to a policeman was way better than studying. I, on the other hand, was ready to sit through hundreds of hours of Russian literature just to escape the lieutenant's oppressive stare. His brown eyes felt around the classroom looking for me. Hair still on the back of my neck, and an icicle had lodged in my gut.
А правда, что Бабурина маньяк убил?
Is it true that Baburin got killed by a serial killer?
Екатерина, ну-ка цыц. Вопросы здесь
Sure,
взрослые
Katerina.
задают.
Let the adults ask questions here.
Просто нам всем страшно.
We're all scared.
Может, убийца
Maybe the
крутится
killer is
где-то
somewhere
рядом?
close.
Или
Maybe they're
сидит
even
на
sitting
стене?
among us. Her sly stare was directed at me, and she's got the middle finger raised too, I just realized. The governor stepped in between the rows of desks and started walking at an excruciatingly slow pace, brushing his fingers against the chairs he passed by. Some of the students almost broke their necks following his movements. That's how a crowd of commoners would gleefully anticipate a public execution in the Middle Ages. And he just walked, getting closer and closer to me. I gritted my teeth to stop myself from screaming. Calm down. Breathe. You didn't kill or kidnap anyone. He already knew the answer to his question, but the policeman still asked in stern voice.
Петров Антон?
Anton Petrov?
Да.
Yes.
Встань, Петров.
Stand up, Petrov. My muscles turned to stone. I got up, unglued myself from the chair. I felt like I could hear all my joints creaking in the process. I only wish that Polina wouldn't turn around to see the grimace of horror in my face. If only I could be somewhere far away in the forest, digging myself into a snow pile, rolling up into a ball there. The officer stared at me as if he was about to lock a pair of handcuffs on my wrists. I wonder how cold those bracelets are to the touch. I imagined myself getting jailed and put into a juvenile detention center where tens of Semyons would constantly harass
Я
me.
ничего не знаю. Я тут ни при чем.
I don't know anything. I don't have anything to do with this.
А тебя никто и не обвиняет.
Nobody's accusing you of anything. Tell that to the kids in this classroom.
Пока что.
For now. Only then I noticed a file that said case number on its hand. In his hand. It had a gray cover made from rough carton. It flopped onto the desk like a guillotine blade that slid down on someone's neck. With a measured motion, the guy opened the file, still studying me with his gaze. I caught a glimpse of documents and photos. They showed prints in the snow. They looked like animal prints.
Ты с Семеном Бабуриным общался?
Have you talked to Semyon Burin
Я
before?
знал его всего один день.
I only knew him for a day.
Все знают. Петров его.
Everyone knew that Petrov hated him. I turned red. You ugly bitch. I wanted to sink my teeth into Katya's face and chew out her cheek. Instead, I replied in the calmest voice I could muster.
Мы повздорили вчера.
We had the fight yesterday,
Но он первый начал.
but he started it,
Я его ударил.
so I hit him.
Сильно?
How hard did you hit him?
Да нет, так.
Not that hard, I mean. I waved my hand indecisively. Takova looked at my fist as if he was surprised that I managed to hit the big kid from the photo. Surprisingly, Lilia Pavlovna came to my rescue.
Бабурин проблемный подросток. С шилом кое-где.
Baburin is a troubled teen, a true pain in the
Сам
rear.
ко всем лез.
Always picks fights with other kids. The officer replied with a meaningful nod and fished out a notebook out of the file.
Это твое?
Is this yours? I averted my gaze. It was a math notebook with my name on it. My classmates devoured me greedily with their eyes. I felt like even the writers on the portraits squinted at me in suspicion.
Мое.
Yes.
В лесу нашли.
We found it in the
Там
forest.
же тракторист, что снег убирал в последний раз, видел Бабурина.
In the area where the tractor driver who was plowing snow there last saw Babrin. I started blinking in bewilderment. Romka ransacked my school bag. This notebook probably just got lost somewhere in the bushes. The lieutenant knew about the school brawl, but was he aware of the fight in the forest clearing? I had witnesses that could testify to Semyon and I walking in different directions after that. I looked toward the boys, hopeful. Romka, who sat behind, put a finger to his lips. And when the officer quickly turned around, he pretended to pick his nose. I deciphered his signal. Boys like Romka would probably say something like, snitches get stitches in a situation like this. I frantically fixed my glasses. Wait, Semyon took them away yesterday, but now
Так
they're...
что ты делал вчера в лесу, Антон?
So what are you doing in the forest yesterday, Anton?
Я в школу через лес хожу.
I go to school through the forest?
Могла выпасть легко.
It could have easily fallen out of my bag. Easily, just like me pitching this half-truth.
Будь осторожнее.
Be careful out there. Before I could realize whether it was a genuine piece of advice or a vile threat, the teacher said,
Класс. А сейчас лейтенант расскажет о
Plus,
правилах,
this episode
которые
will tell you
вам
about some
необходимо
rules you should
соблюдать.
follow.
Так маньяк
So the killer does exist, God.
Пока мы ничего вам сказать не можем.
They can't make any of this public for now.
Но есть преступник или нет, вы должны четко помнить о собственной безопасности.
Whether the criminal really exists or not, you should be mindful of your
Вас
safety.
бережет милиция.
The police,
Вас опекают
your
родители
parents,
и
and your
учителя.
teachers all watch
Но в
over you,
первую
but no
очередь
one
защищать
guard you
себя
better
должны
than
вы
yourself.
сами. Итак, кто там
Alright,
что хотел
any
узнать?
questions? A stockade of arms rose from the desks.
оружие с собой?
The kids shouted over each other, swarming the policeman with questions. In an attempt to calm down that chorus, he moved toward the blackboard. The gray file was left lying in front of me. I stared at it, my breathing so ragged that it might have looked like someone who just ran a 100-meter sprint. Beads of sweat rolled down my back.
Ясно.
I looked around the classroom. My classmates were catching officers' every word. Only Romka was saying something to Biasha. Lilia Pavlovna was...
Так,
Pavlovna was staring at the window, fighting back yawns.
Объявлять комендантский час причин пока нет. Слишком мало времени прошло с момента исчезновения.
I should have saved. As soon as I touched the folder, Thingwall flashed me with his eyes. My hand instinctively moved away, as if that stare actually hurt. The officer kept staring at me without saying a word, making me squirm under the weight of his uncomfortable silence and the sneering looks of my classmates. And then he suddenly continued his speech as if nothing ever happened.
Одноклассника. Мы все...
I wanted to say before doing that. I clanged my teeth from surprise, pushed myself to the back of the chair, blinking in bewilderment. The officer silently gathered the documents and gave me a stern look.
Больно ты любопытный, Петров.
On to a curious boy, Petrov.
И еще раз.
Caught napping? Let me say this again.
Если вы заметите в поселке кого-то подозрительного, неважно, возле школы или на
If you see anyone
тропинке,
suspicious in the village,
сразу
be it near a
сообщайте
school
милицию.
or on the forest trail, contact the police
Телефон-то
immediately.
знаете?
You know our number, right? There are two.
Спасибо, ребята.
Thanks for listening, boys and girls.
Спасибо, Лилия
Thank you,
Павловна.
Lilia Pavlova.
И это.
And
Одноклассника
we'll find your
вашего мы
classmate. Yeah, right. A thought flashed through my mind. Dig through enough ditches and maybe you'll be able to piece them together. Shoo! Like Legos. Ah, so you're going with the he's exceptionally eviscerated at this moment. My thoughts turned evil for some reason, and I couldn't control them. I tried to switch to the lieutenant's speech about suspicious individuals. What if I saw the killer before? What if I was a hair's breadth away from them? Suspicious people. How suspicious was the fox girl that wandered in the darkness? A weirdo that always appears out of nowhere and then dissolves into thin air with her riddles and rhymes. Could she really harm the hulking Semyon? Should I tell the officer about her? Wait, what if I get mocked for speaking out? What if they'll start whispering behind my back, or what's even worse? Think that I'm insane. Romka gave me a stern look over the shoulder. I doubt someone like him would approve of cooperating with the police. Katya's braid dangled nervously behind the delinquent sitting in front of me. My hand was glued to the
До
desk.
свидания, лейтенант.
Tinkov was saying goodbye to Lilia. He was about to leave. He'll be too late soon. You know what? I'm just gonna save And on that note, I'm going to end here, actually. Because reasons. Because reasons and cliffhanger. So, in other words... Oh, yeah, I have that saved. Yep. Yes. I did not expect this to go on for so long, but I'm enjoying it. So, I thank everyone for watching, everyone who came. Oh. Get those off. Oh, I just hope everyone had a good time, as always. And also, as always, ha ba ba.